It's so exciting seeing 24 countries again. It's so different than before.
I come to another tournament of PUBG, and this tournament is very big for me.
I won't lie, it's my first time and I'm nervous.
非常的羡慕，然后很向往，所以这一次能参加 PNC 还是对自己挺骄傲的。
I enjoyed playing the game with you guys and enjoyed the nice trip to Korea.
I mean, the boys thought that we didn't qualify. We all were happy because we know that we play finals.
The most memorable is probably just the people you get to meet, a lot of new faces and a lot of new people you finally get to meet face to face.
今年はちょっと、自分がオーダーをしていたんですけど、やっぱオーダー経験がちょっと浅くて、そう味方をうまく動かせなかったっていうのが。
PNC is like an unscripted movie, and I'm very excited for next year.
Thank you guys very much for supporting us, and hopefully we'll be here again next year.
Thank you to all the fans from all different languages and cultures. I think it's wild that we have such an intersection here.
就大家辛苦了吧，就是感觉这次是个就很棒的比赛。
It's been a difficult 5 days for us, but I'm thankful to my teammates and all the fans for supporting us the whole time.
Y estoy muy orgulloso de mi nivel. We really appreciate the invite. I hope there will be Philippines on next year.
我的 PNC 也结束了，那我希望你们还是一样可以继续支持 PNC。
Participating to PNC as team friends is really nice.
이번에 처음 나온 나라들도 있고 처음 나온 선수들도 많을 텐데 재밌게 경기력을 보여줘서 고맙다고 생각하고 있습니다.
A collaboration with ESPA, and some changes to vehicle camo netting. All this and more as we dive into the update 36.2 patch report. First up, Miramar is getting a visit from the K-pop group ESPA. All across the Badlands, you'll find concert venues, decor, and other visuals based on the group. Many other maps have ESPA visuals, such as themed care packages and planes as well. There's also an emote stage on the starting island of every 8x8 map for you to perform some of their most iconic tracks, including their latest hit. Next up, vehicle camo netting is seeing a durability improvement and is being added to Rondo and Tago this update as well. The improved durability only applies to bullet damage, and there are still some conditions in which the netting is instantly destroyed, so check out the patch notes for full details. The clan system is also getting some love. There are new ways to show off your achievements, including a new weekly ranking page, along with new clan tag plates. Full details in the patch notes. There's also a new Survivor Pass. Regions with duo mode can now choose one-man duo in normal and ranked. And we've tackled some bugs, so be sure to check out the patch notes for details on everything. Update 36.2 is here, so park the car in a safe spot and get ready to rock out with ESPA. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
Oh my god, we killed them both! Whoa!
He's down.
Oh, hell no. Yoink.
Damn, that tree's still jigging.
Go, bro, go, bro,
Yeah, this thing's gonna go quick, bro. You gotta go. No way.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, what? No way. No freaking way.
Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. This year, we're introducing structured competitive play in third-person perspective mode for players of all ranks, levels, and ability. Here's how it works in EMEA and Americas. PUBG Players Tour competition is held in 2-week phases. Each week, you and your squad can compete in player scrims. Think of these as a great alternative to ranked play. Each day of scrims will feature a variety of maps, with defined team and lobby sizes to ensure a balanced best-of-3 rounds. Teams will earn points based on their performance, and daily leaderboards will track their progress. When the scrims are over, the top teams will qualify for the PUBG Players Tour Cups, where they will be joined by up to 10 invited teams, featuring some of the best players in the region. Players' Cup leaderboards will track team performances across 2 days of play, with the top 8 squads progressing to the final round of competition. Players Masters are the pinnacle of the PUBG Players Tournament. 8 teams from each of the 2 cups will engage in fierce competition for a huge prize pool in each region across the PUBG Players Tour season. And for times when a Players Masters isn't scheduled, you can still get your PUBG Players Tour fix with Super Cups. These work just like Masters events, where again, 16 teams, 8 from each of the 2 previous Players Cups, compete for a share of the total cash prize pool. Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. You know the game. Be a player. Welcome to the PUBG Play.
It's so exciting seeing 24 countries again. It's so different than before.
I come to another tournament of PUBG, and this tournament is very big for me.
I won't lie, it's my first time and I'm nervous.
非常的羡慕，然后很向往，所以这次能参加 PNC 还是对自己挺骄傲的。
I enjoyed playing the game with you guys and enjoyed the nice trip to Korea.
I mean, the boys thought that we didn't qualify. We all were happy because we know that we play finals.
The most memorable is probably just the people you get to meet, a lot of new faces and a lot of new people you finally get to meet face to face.
今年はちょっと、自分がオーダーをしていたんですけど、やっぱオーダー経験がちょっと浅くて、味方をうまく動かせなかったっていうのが。
PNC is like an unscripted movie, and I'm very excited for next year.
Thank you guys very much for supporting us, and hopefully we'll be here again next year.
Thank you to all the fans from all different languages and cultures. I think it's wild that we have such an intersection here.
就大家辛苦了吧，就是感觉这次是个就很棒的比赛。
It's been a difficult 5 days for us, but I'm thankful to my teammates and all the fans for supporting us the whole time.
Estoy muy orgulloso de mi nivel. We really appreciate the invite. I hope there will be Philippines on next year.
我的 PNC 也结束了，那我希望你们还是一样可以继续支持 PNC。
Participating to PNC as team friends is really nice. 이번에 처음 나온 나라들도 있고 처음 나온 선수들도 많을 텐데 재밌게 경기력을 보여줘서 고맙다고 생각하고 있습니다.
A collaboration with ESPA, and some changes to vehicle camo netting. All this and more as we dive into the update 36.2 patch report. First up, Miramar is getting a visit from the K-pop group ESPA. All across the Badlands, you'll find concert venues, decor, and other visuals based on the group. Many other maps have ESPA visuals, such as themed care packages and planes as well. There's also an emote stage on the starting island of every 8x8 map for you to perform some of their most iconic tracks, including their latest hit. Next up, vehicle camo netting is seeing a durability improvement and is being added to Rondo and Tago this update as well. The improved durability only applies to bullet damage, and there are still some conditions in which the netting is instantly destroyed, so check out the patch notes for full details. The clan system is also getting some love. There are new ways to show off your achievements, including a new weekly ranking page, along with new clan tag plates. Full details in the patch notes. There's also a new Survivor Pass. Regions with duo mode can now choose one-man duo in normal and ranked. And we've tackled some bugs, so be sure to check out the patch notes for details on everything. Update 36.2 is here, so park the car in a safe spot and get ready to rock out with ESPA. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
Oh my god, we killed them both! Whoa!
He's down.
Oh, hell no.
Yoink.
That tree's still jagged.
Go, bro, go, bro,
Yeah, the thing's gonna go quick, bro. You gotta go. No way.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh, shot. What? No way. No freaking way.
Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. This year, we're introducing structured competitive play in third-person perspective mode for players of all ranks, levels, and ability. Here's how it works in EMEA and Americas. PUBG Players Tour competition is held in 2-week phases. Each week, you and your squad can compete in player scrims. Think of these as a great alternative to ranked play. Each day of scrims will feature a variety of maps, with defined team and lobby sizes to ensure a balanced best-of-3 rounds. Teams will earn points based on their performance, and daily leaderboards will track their progress. When the scrims are over, the top teams will qualify for the PUBG Players Tour Cups, where they will be joined by up to 10 invited teams, featuring some of the best players in the region. Players' Cup leaderboards will track team performances across 2 days of play, with the top 8 squads progressing to the final round of competition. Players Masters are the pinnacle of the PUBG Players Tournament. 8 teams from each of the 2 cups will engage in fierce competition for a huge prize pool in each region across the PUBG Players Tour season. And for times when a Players Masters isn't scheduled, you can still get your PUBG Players Tour fix with Super Cups. These work just like Masters events, where again, 16 teams, 8 from each of the 2 previous Players Cups, compete for a share of the total cash prize pool. Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. You know the game. Be a player.
Here we go. It's time for PUBG, back from PNC, and it's time for Masters Cup. I'm Mark Power, joined by the amazing Koa. We've had a crazy 2 weeks, but we managed to find our top 16 teams, where now we've got 3 days where they're going to have to battle out to see who's going to take the most of the prize pool home.
This is what they were waiting for, right? This is what they qualified for. They finally got here, and now they get to play. Apologies for the delay. We had some issues with the lobbies and stuff, but we have our players all in. We are ready to bring you the games. And we're not only doing that today, Mark, we're doing that for the next 3 days, or today and then Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, and it's worth mentioning as well, these are best of 4 each day as well. So obviously, unlike where we go towards the Masters Cup, where it's a best of 60s, a best of 4, so it's completely different. You only get to play one map each once per day, 3 in total overall. We'll be kicking things off with Miramar, working our way through Tego and Rondo before we close the days out on Erangel. I do think this is a big difference that a lot of these guys and girls not used to, because if you do mess up, and especially on Erangel or a Miramar, you have normally the opportunity to come back and obviously perform, but not the case here on this circuit.
Yeah, this is what matters. This is what they qualify for, and this is where the money is as well. It's not a Masters. It's not that huge, but it is much bigger than the Player Cups. It is much bigger prize pool wise. The lobby is better. It doesn't really get much better, right? We had amazing weeks of qualifiers, and we're cutting out the teams who couldn't make it here, who didn't manage to, but we have stacked lobbies now. We're still only playing 12 games, so it's still short. It's still exciting. It's still sort of that touch and go. We just immediately have to hit it running. But this is what the teams are looking for, and this is where everybody wanted to qualify to.
And this one's really exciting for me because we've had a lot of other big events. I mentioned PNC, we've got EWC coming up. So we've had a lot of teams where they're unable to kind of work on this circuit. And obviously on the screen, obviously you guys can actually see that you can get involved, you can sign up. But these last 2 weeks, we worked through the scrims, then we came through obviously on the cup. Now we come towards the Super Cup. This is going to be as close as it can be. I was looking at the teams and thinking who could potentially going to run away with it, but we don't have the heavyweight names. You don't have like the Tristan Mines, the big gunners that are going to go, oh, do you know what? We expect them easily to be in the sort of top circuit. Actually, I feel like the next 3 days are going to be really, really tight, and potentially anyone, if they get things going quite well, could potentially start off with a good foot forward.
100%. But we're not going to make you wait any longer. We have a game on our hands. We are going to Miramar first. 4 games in the night. You know the drill by now. Planes in the air. The observer is going to try to do his very, very best to catch it. And I mean, we'll see how it pans out. He's cooking.
He's gone far back. He's giving himself time. That's why he's looking. He looks to the skies. Did he get it right? He does. That was practice. That's rehearsed. That's why we've been delayed, guys. He just had to run it a few times until we knew exactly where that plane was going to come in. Anyway, it's day number 1 of the Super Cup, though. Super Cup number 3, it is an east across towards the west. A pretty good flight path because it goes through the heart of the soul. The sandy dunes, that is going to be Miramar, and most of these teams be able to get that prior drop that they want.
It's a nice plane to start things off. I'm excited for this one, Mark, partly because I'm always excited to cast some PUBG with you, but also because I feel like we still saw at Nations Cup, right? We still saw that not everybody is familiar enough with the mechanics. Not everybody is ready for all these new mechanics coming in, and we've seen probably more C4 fails, for example, than we did successes. Similar things with some BRDMs and stuff. So this is where everybody can get the practice in. This is where everybody can really nail these down and really make sure that they are in their best shape for every tournament they play. Because like you said, right, it doesn't get much better than this lobby.
C4, PNC. Marcelet can't count, that's what I'm going to say. But you're right, people do get the opportunity to get the practice in. This is the end of the circuits, and for those again who haven't seen it already, pause that for a moment. Skitchel's getting involved. And he just misses out the opportunity. Back to my point, you can get involved. Anyone out there can sign up for the scrims. So we are running towards the last couple of sets now, where you can have a chance to get yourself with some prize pool underway. This is the TPP circuit. Anything with the Players Cup, Players Tour is all TPP. And as Kara says, a lot of teams still learning the mechanics, still learning how to launch utility correctly, because it's very different in a third-person perspective.
Entirely. And then the new patch, right? It's such a game changer. Levante wanted to go for a bit of a sneaky run there. Will not die. They're in one of those loot spots where you're in close proximity to multiple other teams, and just trying to go for an early kill sometimes can be a good strat. But we've just watched him jog back there after Fairy Tail has just evacuated the area. The man doesn't even have a backpack, so he's sacrificed a whole lot of looting for a kill that he didn't get.
Yeah, time to reward has not been in his favour. I have to wait and see, but that's all about trying to get these knocks on the board. Skittles eventually do get one. Hadouken. Oh, he's going to start things off here as Locke will go down. Good position. Zone obviously is on that east side, so where Skittles sort of position themselves now is going to have an opportunity where teams obviously might try and play into, so them to get an early kill sort of denies the, I suppose, an early crash from Locke. They're going to have to wait for a little bit more of a later game.
Yeah. Love to see that for Skittles. Not only locking down the big prio spot, possibly the highest prio spot in the circle, but locking in that early kill. We haven't talked about this at all, right? We are moving, not yet, but we're moving to a slightly different point format soon, so that's going to be interesting. But we should be closing this out on the format that keeps us where kills... It keeps us in a spot where kills matter a whole lot.
Yeah. For those that know, obviously, we like to say it's half price chicken dinner, so you're only going to be getting placements from a top 4 scenario here. Obviously, you'll get 5 points for first place, 3 for second, 2, and then 1. So first to fourth is are they going to make the placement. It does mean kills are heavier, so you'll see a lot more early aggression. But it'll be eager to see, obviously, over 3 days, some people got to make sure they get the level of consistency up there, not so much of the one-day wonder. But wait and see. SlamG, they're definitely a team on my radar, Haikar. They're a team that I'd expect to be higher up the leaderboard. Done well in the circuit, and a household name, should we say, with these players. And they now push on towards bad rotation. Skishwhite, well, takes a lot of damage from the 7.62. Has to back away, and Lurix, well, he's lurking with that Panzer in hand.
Not a great sight if you're on the other side of it. You hate to see it, but it doesn't even matter. Knock comes in. His White is out on his knees. Kyle very quickly left his own devices here. No support, no help from anyone just yet. There might be a breach here in the near future, but I think that Panzerfaust is coming faster than any support.
Yeah, I think he wants to confirm the kill. The Molly was trying to go for the deny. He saw no way out. Don't forget we do have the recall system here, but SlamG, +1 Boostic is down. Nogor's in a position though. It looks like they have decided to come back for this one. Reading the kill feed, Artix though, he's going to go for the reposition, especially with that crash, that breach coming in that sort of north side. He actually goes for the res. He's got a bit of time here, but it is an aggressive stance here from bad rotation. They were looking to rotate away, but now they want to take the fight.
I love it. That's a huge punish. I think it's just the util really costing SlamG there. Going for that kill, but walking into a molly will cost them not only the momentum, but literally put them in a spot where they're very breachable now and where the res can come through, which is not something you would have expected just looking at this 30 seconds ago. It's a massive reset, and it's a massive pain for SlamG, who were just hoping to walk away with 2 free kills.
Yeah, kind of run through the compound. Initial knock from the util. Turn around. So both teams exchange the res. Igor still holds that kind of elevated position. He's kind of getting the information across to the guys. Boostic doing the same. A little bit of spray comes through. He gets a little whistle. The 7.62. Bad rotation. They really need to rotate on the west side. They've got to deny Mogor opportunity. Really to provide information to the guys. Take the 3 versus 2. And then try and draw the attention. But Arctic's already on the hold. He's waiting for that door to open.
Packing out from range. Puts the shots in. Makes things awkward. Mogora, you gotta get yourself into cover. Easier said than done when the angles are so wide. so diverse. More trouble for Slam G. More brakes on the Slam G train. And that's Mogura going down. He is resable, but they could easily, if they wanted to, they could easily converge on him here and make sure that knock does get flushed out.
Even the information, the straight information for bad rotation now knows they're taking the fight up numbers now. When they were down, they turn back in. They got the res back on 3 versus 3. Wee Woo. Oh, now denying the opportunity, looking for that confirmation. I think as soon as bad rotation see that in the kill feed, again, I wouldn't mind that level of aggression, maybe stepping up for them and looking to try and clear out the rest of this compound from Slam G.
Massive stuff. Not for Slam G, but against them. And yeah, I mean, but the thing is, like, some of these angles, especially Arctics here, is in such a good spot. If he doesn't get naded, if he doesn't get perfect naded, the push up to him becomes so hard. It's so hard to deal with here. So hard to dislodge him. Especially as the crossfire with Boostic is going to come into effect the second he gets pushed, right? So very, very tricky still to deal with for BR.
Definitely see as these seasons have gone by, the number 3 now, the Super Cup, we've had a lot of weeks of the Player Cups. These players now getting used to kind of how to peak using the ridgeline. I think before, especially at the early part of this year, we saw their heads and bodies sort of appearing above the ridgeline quite freely. Now to keep their bodies tucked in. Boostic though, well, Pukus is white into a position, doesn't quite get the connection with the Bolty. Has to reposition himself now, trying to take the fight, and now this is where the cross up that you're talking about comes into play. If he steps out, Arctics might step up.
This is very hard to deal with. There's the smokes now. Trying to get something to work, but not sure where he's going. Maybe they just go through the smokes. Going to the left of the smokes is going to be quite tricky if you're playing against high ground. But yeah, he wants to be pushing Boostic. He needs the support though. He needs more of his teammates here. 2v1 is really risky for them to take, especially when Boostic has the cover advantage.
Yeah, and the off angle as well, forcing him that way. Arctic gets the first one down. Then that's 2 versus 2 in the compound. Skittles getting involved. Murray causing some problems. That's going to force Arctic to sort of drive his way forward, but he drives onto a landmine. Mindset, well, sets him down. Kill confirmed, done. Boosted the final player now for Slam G. We know he can do big play moments, but he's going to step up though. 2 have lined up. He goes out to a one shot, able to scrub his way back into the safety, but he needs to get a knock here, Koho.
He needs to get it fast as well. Trading HP is not a good time when you're outnumbered, and just like that. Taken out in the end. Mindset gets himself knocked from range though. That is more third parties coming in. It's a team as well that can react on this. So both teams might be really paying for this one. Bad rotation, they can get one of the reses, but they're already being encroached upon. They're already being circled in that compound. Everybody's had that fight go on, and Boostic did just enough damage to make it cost.
Yeah, we've got the likes of Win or Die on the compound now. Wee Woo collapsing on as well. Bad rotation in a position. But position now on the outside edge of the zone. A lot of these teams expecting it to play back towards that west. We go down for a heavy shift. Don't forget the first couple of zones, a couple of phases, you know, random. The center of the circle pretty much is on that coastal line, maybe a little bit in. But it does mean a lot of these teams are going to have to rotate now. And teams like Skittles, who took the early compounds, they get a lot of traffic passing their way.
They would much prefer to be sitting in a center compound, however. They'll get the shoot at the traffic, and they are Skittles, so they might hit some of these shots, maybe pop somebody out of a vehicle, but their position has been massively downgraded here with this hard shift. Dante's in trouble, and there we go. It's not actually Skittles. They get themselves the knock, but it could be Skittles that get themselves the kill. As Rox is also getting knocked. Same rotation, instantly caught out. Belief are doing some real damage here.
Why did they turn? They were in a line, the convoy looked perfect, and they turned, got knocked. Belief then punished the second turn as well. Reads to me like miscommunication on that rotation. So they're down to 2. Abilities to go sort of get back to the blue chips. We'll have to wait and see. Here comes Will Die. They're obviously taking advantage though. Bad rotation are down. Mindset, and they're on 3 kills. He's able to deliver 2. Levante, I think, looking to exchange, though, with the Panzer. And my bad actually finishes things off, though. Nate comes in. Levante converts with that Panzer. Done and dusted. Bad rotation out in 15th.
Two losers in that compound fight. SlamG and Bad Rotation both. Didn't really pan out for either of them. I think Dante probably wasn't even trying to turn there. That's my explanation. I think, you know that truck, it is the slippiest vehicle you've ever seen. If you're boosting in a corner and maybe you're slightly going off the road, that thing can sometimes just spin out completely out of control. I think that's likely what happened. Or they were hoping to crash the gas station, but then last minute saw that 7G was already holed up there. So one of those two. But it definitely does hurt for Hive, a team that's one of the best in this lobby. One of the biggest contenders here for the whole weekend.
Look at it, we've got SlamG already gone. Big contender. Hive down 50% as well. So this is why I'm excited for this one. I'm excited for this weekend. I was thinking about it earlier today. Because it is such a open field. We don't have the big household names, right? So people have taken the opportunity to ensure they get into this circuit. Now, I find themselves in the final. They've gone through obviously the cup for the 1,000 prize pool. Now we're in the Super Cup, going for the bigger amount of prize pool. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. Another team, obviously, I was looking at and going back, look at the stats, is actually the Beerfellas. They done well. They done well coming through. They've got a good amount of wins. Hopefully, I think they'll be looking for it again. They sometimes avoid some of the early action. They want to play that late to mid-game as well. So just to see, they're outside the edge of zone now. They've got to find their way in from Lostion. So lots of open training in front of them, unfortunately. But it'll be a map they know well.
This point for sure. Stab points as well. In the transition from the rock here. Werzig's definitely putting in the work for the squad. They're tested by another big shift, Mark. Another big shift towards the water. It looks like an eastern shift. It's not really. It's mainly centered up, but we had so much water in the last one that this feels really rough.
Yeah.
For everybody involved. You can see Hive is on the second send of the game for them. Hopefully the last one. But if you're not Fairy Tail right now, maybe ADR, if you're not sitting pretty in one of these compounds, you have a lot of questions to answer.
Conquest in a good spot as well. I'm just going to try and hold out. I don't think they're going to get a big kill game, but a lot of the action is going to come now from this outside, this sort of northwest corner. Skittles having the transition. Recall system does come back. Spearfeather's back to a 4, but that's a big amount. Rain is getting hammered now in the skies, so just see if we'll be able to make it there. We'll die on that rotation as well, using the pathing quite nicely. They thread the needle between lock at the moment. So looking to try and reposition, try and get some shots on to the row. But Hero picks up Levante. Kill confirmed. There's no going back for that recall chip. And Lock, well, they put the first point on the board.
Big scalp to take as well. Big man, Levante out of the lobby. The rest of One of the Die have continued on their path. They're breaching the warehouse. Not a bad play per se. But losing a member on the way wasn't planned for them at all. And having a 4-man here ready to try and counteract whatever aggression they throw at them, probably also not what they would have hoped for.
Nah, definitely not what they're going to hope for. Fairy Tail in a shared position now. I do worry about this location, because if you get caught into the trenches for too long, these teams kind of, especially on that west side, will have a elevation when you're trying to exit. So both these teams be eager to clear and go. They're looking to try and get a little bit of elevation himself inside the compound. Fairy Tail just on the outside edge. Conquest, when they start to look in, it's been a bit of a stalemate now. I feel like Wood or Die. They're trying to figure out exactly where these players are lurking.
Yeah. This might be another similar situation as we just saw from SlamG, where they're going to get stuck within each other, and that's going to allow everybody around them to take whatever spot they want and start doing the damage. So, troublesome for both Fairy Tail and Win or Die. Skittles on a big send. Looking for a free dip, but they will find it. Akimari by the skin of his teeth. But they have made it in, and they're now in a very promising position because they know the next circle is going away from border. So it comes right back towards them.
Yeah, God, if it shifts down towards the southwest, they should still be in. But they've taken off a good rotation there. Here comes that zone. I feel like I missed PNC because your wrist starts flashing blue. The whole room was flashing blue as soon as the zone was about to hit. I feel like we need that on stream somehow. There's that shift. Let's go down towards that southwest location. Skittles still remain in. I see teams like WeWoo, Lock, 7G. Well, I think they would have been aware that there's a high chance they were going to lose this zone anyway. So 7G have the opportunity now to try and hold out lock. They can play late in towards the zone, but they've really got to keep the cars alive, activated for the late game. These teams, like Beerfellas, they're going for a bit more of a send. They need to try and find a dip and a crevice to play.
They could play it late if they wanted to. They don't have to send, but they decide they want to center up a little bit more, and they're going to take the damage for it. But so far, no casualties, and not too shabby. It's not a great spot that they're in now. Mathix might not even make it in there. Should be getting peppered on the way. Crawling. Oh, he stayed alive for now, but surely that's not for long. And there it is. They pay for their transition. It's not the worst spot that they're in right now, but
yeah,
if any team has space around them, and it seems like Dope does, not going to be in for a good time.
Wow. I was going to say, you see how they instantly smoked out the recall system? Without Dope knew they want to give them the opportunity. They do try and play a little bit further afield. I know when Chicken Dinner, though, also play onto that. It's going to be very chaotic on this side. I think that is one of those prior spots, though. Without Dope, they've got that elevation. They can look onto this. Good amount of nades. Well, that could potentially close things off. We go back towards the other side of the zone. Fairy Tale now trying to play in towards lock. And for win or die, they already played out the zone. They took the cars. They found the dip themselves.
Good transition. Love to see it. Same for Weaver right now. Putting in the work. Making the space where there wasn't any. They had to shift around. The process dismantling. 3-3-3. Well done. Locke is now stuck in the same spot, and I mean, yeah, you have to call him stuck here, right? This is not a good time.
Well, no, especially with Fairy Tale sitting on top of this building. I'm going to make the call that most people know he's there, but didn't really have much else to play, right? They had to find their way in. 7G were holding out. You can see him just in the mini-map there. A little bit further afield, run to that north-northwest. So they've played in late. They can now control the outside edge and sort of sweep their way in based upon the zones. Phase number 4. We still have 13 teams, 41 players up. We have lost all of the water now, so it's going to be more of a heavier shift here. But don't forget, we are still on the hard-priced chicken dinner. So top 4 is what we're looking for when it comes to placement. Kills mean everything.
Absolutely. Kills a king. And if you were wondering whether they knew or not, they definitely do know now. Alex is on that roof. He was smoking earlier as well, making sure that he could use some of the angles. He can just give himself a little bit of freedom. But now comes the tricky part. Now the zone goes south, southeast. Entire compound out, not even a slight piece in the warehouse. So both these teams will have to make moves, and it's going to be really, really hard when your neighbors are so close.
It's going to be really interesting for me. We're on the west without Dope. What time do they sort of play into that 100 yard? Do they come late? There's lots of dips and crevices here. Skittles laying low. 7G rotate past one. Looking for the shots in the second. Gets a great connections. Lloyd puts one down. Before it goes down, 7G knew they were going to get punished, but I don't think after the first god they thought it was going to be that bad. But they step on the Skittles landmine.
Skittles could activate here. Skittles could play a big game. Starting the game was 3. I think they were the only team in the lobby who started with 3.
Yeah.
But they're now in a position to not only destroy the compound, but later on move to clear 7G. So if they manage to hit their fights correctly here, and they manage to close them out in time, they could be in for a massive game, Mark.
Lad, launches the nade up towards the top. Conquest, though, is sharing his compound. They've suffered loss here. The teams on the east rotate their way around. Looking for the peak on the stair. No one there. Goes for the shotgun, though. Is just upstairs. Just waiting, hearing the footsteps, taking some damage from that blue zone. So he's using the advantage that he's got, but he can't step out. Lock eventually falls. Skittles do play well. Now where 7G wanted to be, Skittles hold that position now. It's going to be pretty chaotic.
Oh, it's a full breach for belief, and I think it's a 4v2, but it might be a 4v2 lost. Now Frenty steps up into his own nade. He's got to be careful. Gets back down just in time. And it's the third party from range that keeps him in it. That keeps Hive at bay. Should get one of the reses, but manpower is gone.
That was chaotic. She was thinking he was going to go step on his landmine, but he didn't. He did send back Roms. Without Dope. Don't crash in towards that 180 yard position. Actually go round. When we chicken dinner out. lose one. Med comes through. Somehow the R1 gets away with that. He needs to get a med on, but he hasn't got the train to do it. Leosto back on the other side. Moved away from this position early on. MK on top of the roof. That could be a huge nade. Leosto puts it to perfection. Don't think he can get the flush. Needs more util done. Here comes the second one from Leosto. So you're going to try him for the second. The rest of Will or Die, well, they look to try and collapse him, but so will everyone else.
So will everybody else. Everybody wants a piece of this. The fight on the top is going to be interesting as well because Skittles have moved into a different team and they're not actually clearing out 7G. So that could be messy. Seeing it in the kill feed. It's popping off as well. There's 7G gone. Big for Skittles. Now, Dope was trying. Dope was trying their very best, but they get absolutely dunked by that nade.
7 kills. 3 players strong to start with. Winner and Chicken Dinner. Down for 2. I'll try and hold out. The zone shifts back towards that north side. So again, we're going to get this fight cleared and rotating pretty quickly, though. So it's a bit of a round robin. Watching that nade come in. The airburst is going to be short, though. Molly slightly better. He does actually get knocked from distance back the other way. 100 ADR who are left alone. They of course the damage. Winner Chicken Dinner now pop the smokes. They want to try and extend forward.
I'm gonna say calm before the storm, but it's just quiet. It's a quiet storm. It's a quiet storm, and Swagon is raging on the inside. Gets rolled over by the BRDM. See you later. What a time to have a BRDM as well. If you keep it into this late game mark, it's so strong.
Yeah.
So much info being gathered, so much security on that flush, no problem at all. It's just such a massive tool.
Just got to keep an eye out for those Panzers. You want to crest the hill. One too many and find yourself joint. Go next Esports don't. Or it's a minute in towards zone, so found a position to try and hold. So expect a BRDM to sort of take the same rotation path. They go for a 2-2, looking back towards Winner Chicken Dinner. Weewoo up towards the north, and Win or Die. We did take this position early. They went for the aggressive, but so did everyone else in the north. So Fairy Tail survive out. Win or Die claim a couple of kills, but unfortunately for them, they're down to a solo player now. Still 7 teams remain, still not in the placement points.
Nope. That should be trouble for Winner Chicken Dinner. Spray comes out. Max does a whole lot of damage, but not enough to get the drive alone, not enough to get the knock. And just like that, the kills are cruising. He answered a Lalok. What? That is a dirty fadeaway headshot with the barrel. But it's a kill they won't get. It's a kill for ADR instead.
ADR, I'm so surprised they've been unchallenged in that position. I generally thought at least one of the teams in the West might try and show their weight, push or apply pressure to 100 ADR, but they've been left to their own devices at the moment. So the guys for Fairy Tail climb up to where one of the positions that Will or Die were at. Conf will try and hold, and Will or Die have moved more to center of zone. Phase number 6 is about to become 7. Zone shift will come away. Comp just waiting to see where will the heads from Weewoo play peekaboo.
Lovely stuff. Coming in from that eastern side, generally really nice. Because you get to play up when you want, you get to peek up. It's a very favorable angle. At least it used to be an FPP. Things are a little different now. Third person cameras. Shift comes in. Snakes in the middle, still both alive. Hello My Bad, well known. Winner Chicken Dinner, well known. They're gonna get cleared at some point, but first, Weewoo has to run into the grinder.
Oh, Conf, talk about being a grinder and put him down. There's 1, there's 2. Skills are getting stolen, but at least he gets the element of that. It's going to be slightly more free for him to move, especially now he loses the zone. April wraps round on the outside edge using the blue. Now going to come over the top. Sees go next Esport. Opts to get into the next valley. It's the money. Well, it's going to be slightly short. I generally feel like we don't have an idea that actually the pressure's been applied and Fairy Tail are pretty close.
Pretty close, but kept it by GN here, right? Go next, looking over the top there. Fine being an absolute problem. And there it is. He wants to peek, he wants the kills, he wants to activate, and he can't. Fine picks it up with the Dragunov. Picks up the flush at least, but fight on the other side. are the solos versus ADR. Skittle trying to ruin the day for ADR. But it does feel like all of these solos are living on very borrowed time. They're all getting swept aside.
Yeah, borrowed time has now expired. They will fall in a top 4 scenario. I do feel for the solos, unfortunately, didn't have the util to survive, though. We've got 4 versus 4 versus 3 versus 2. Go next Esports, though, with the BRDM gives them the extra boost of power. This is going to be interesting to see how they use and joystick the team into a late game. At the moment, Skittles, well, they had a storm that needs to be stopped. Now 14 kills. This is insane from the team.
Yeah. Everything they wanted, everything I talked about earlier materialized for them. They got to play their edge, they got to pick up the frags on teams moving out of the compound, and they also won some really big fights versus teams in their path. And I think they're probably just going out first on the leaderboard after match 1, no matter what happens here. Go next, they still have the BRDM, they're still forming up, but Win can't make up for 14 frags.
No. It's a good start. And you can remember there are 3 to start with as well. So down a body, but a scream kills mean everything. He comes over the top. Hadouken underneath. Cool, calm, collective, even to the point that he takes a little bit of a tap of the bike from Hakamari. And Hadouken will puts 100 ADR down. Unable to get the flash. But still element of control here on zone. We'll on look towards Go Next Esports. They've got to take the time to rotate. It's phase number 8. It's going to be an explosive end. And Skittles still leading the charge with the kills.
There's ADR gone. 15 for Skittles now. Go next, picking up a few of their own. Clearing their side of the circle, but just wasn't as easy, and they weren't as proficient as Skittles have been. The RDM should really do a whole lot of work for them regardless, and then we'll see the Wee-Woo duo come in. See if they have any chance. I don't think so. I think they're getting spotted by the BRDM now. They don't have a Panzerfaust at the ready, then they shouldn't live. The 9 to the play zone might not even be the worst thing here.
No. Just on the outside edge. Top 2 now. Skittles versus Go Next Esports. Go Next have the element of control slightly of zone, and RDM still going to be an issue. Project Rock takes a shot with the M24. Doesn't get the connection. He's got the distance, he can continue that. Skittles, slight reload when it comes down to utility. They still have to charge their way, and there's next to no cover for them now. So they're going to have to go aggressive, and Dukan show why he lives by that name, and Knock here will change it completely up for them.
There's the push coming out. Hakamari made the early run. Lloyd trying to get some space with the car. Doesn't really know where to go. Might have to pick up a teammate here. Maybe Hadouken is telling him to come back, but it's costing them so much time, and it's making Onex so much more aware of the play that could be coming towards them. Hakamari falls on the low ground, and it's looking desperate for Skittles.
That's what Go Next needed, though. I was worrying. Skittles kind of stacking up and going, being aggressive. Rose up for Go Next, though, on that other side, but we'll wait and see. There's that replay, though. That's critical for them. A quick kill. Confirms on that replay. Duke, I'm worried about that Panzer. Maybe they can get exchanged. I can see the BRDMs coming closer and closer. He's going to be cautious. That nades right underneath him. The car's going to go as well. It's going to go towards the back. Does get the launch. Max already on the outside. That car does do the damage. And it's not going to be that. It's going to be explosive action from the barrel. And it's down to a 2 versus 1.
That's huge for Sloy. Huge for Sloy. Makes this possible now. I want to say possible. I think the angle is still absolutely insane here for the low ground player, for Max. Acalypto's out in the open, but Max should have it in the bag, and he does. Easily done. Go Next, 11 kills. Making it look easy there in the end, but 17 for Skittles.
Yeah, look, good victory. They will find themselves an extra 5 points, though, when it comes down to the chicken dinner. But yeah, Skittles, 3-man up. Aggressive start from them. And we are looking, obviously, 3 days, best of 4 each day. That's a really, really good start from that team.
Massive, massive. And exactly the skills we're used to seeing as well, right? They're not masterminds when it comes to rotations. When they get their fights, they roll them. And they absolutely dominate. This one, crucial for SlamG. Lurix gets himself with the Panzerfaust and then dies with a molly right after. Plus SlamG the game, essentially. And this is a key moment as well for the Skittles, right? They got these early points in the field around the ends compound. But then that rotation really put them in the spot to actually do something in this game. And surely, I mean, there's no better way for them to do that.
Yeah, no better way. Still shocked we saw some big names go out quite early. Game number 1. Maybe not so part and parcel of the zone, but definitely felt like early engagement. The teams leaning towards those kind of kills being king, so to speak. But at the end of things, Go Next Esports had the control on that south side for quite some time, and then they sort of charged their way. Good victory from them, and a good start also.
Big and huge. Absolutely massive. That was game number 1. We have 12 games in the tournament, but we have 4 for you in the night. So we're going to take a very short break, and we'll be back with the other 3.
Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. This year, we're introducing structured competitive play in third-person perspective mode for players of all ranks, levels, and ability. Here's how it works in EMEA and Americas. PUBG Players Tour competition is held in 2-week phases. Each week, you and your squad can compete in player scrims. Think of these as a great alternative to ranked play. Each day of scrims will feature a variety of maps, with defined team and lobby sizes to ensure a balanced best-of-3 rounds. Teams will earn points based on their performance, and daily leaderboards will track their progress. When the scrims are over, the top teams will qualify for the PUBG Players Tour Cups, where they will be joined by up to 10 invited teams, featuring some of the best players in the region. Players' Cup leaderboards will track team performances across 2 days of play, with the top 8 squads progressing to the final round of competition. Players Masters are the pinnacle of the PUBG Players Tournament. 8 teams from each of the 2 cups will engage in fierce competition for a huge prize pool in each region across the PUBG Players Tour season. And for times when a Players Masters isn't scheduled, you can still get your PUBG Players Tour fix with Super Cups. These work just like Masters events, where again, 16 teams, 8 from each of the 2 previous Players Cups, compete for a share of the total cash prize pool. Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. You know the game. Be a player.
A collaboration with ESPA, and some changes to vehicle camo netting. All this and more as we dive into the update 36.2 patch report. First up, Miramar is getting a visit from the K-pop group ESPA. All across the Badlands, you'll find concert venues, decor, and other visuals based on the group. Many other maps have ESPA visuals, such as themed care packages and planes as well. There's also an emote stage on the starting island of every 8x8 map, for you to perform some of their most iconic tracks, including their latest hit. Next up, vehicle camo netting is seeing a durability improvement and is being added to Rondo and Tago this update as well. The improved durability only applies to bullet damage, and there are still some conditions in which the netting is instantly destroyed, so check out the patch notes for full details. The clan system is also getting some love. There are new ways to show off your achievements, including a new weekly ranking page, along with new clan tag plates. Full details in the patch notes. There's also a new Survivor Pass. Regions with duo mode can now choose one-man duo in normal and ranked. And we've tackled some bugs, so be sure to check out the patch notes for details on everything. Update 36.2 is here, so park the car in a safe spot and get ready to rock out with ESPA. We'll see you on the battlegrounds.
Well, match number 1 has been done. We have to tally up the points though. But no surprises here, Koa. Skittles leading the charge though. 20 points in total. Go Next though with the win, but not too far behind on 16.
Yeah, it's big stuff. big stuff for both of these teams. As you can see, the gap is massive, right? The points haven't really been spread out across the lobby nearly as much as we would usually see. It's just the top dogs sponging them up. 5,000 points for Go Next is nice, but 17 kill points is massive for Skittles, and they've put themselves in the driver's seat for now. Obviously, right? We have 11 more games. Everything will change and everything can change. But for a team like Skittles that doesn't excel in consistency, in my opinion, doesn't excel in beating hard zones, this is a massive start. They kind of need these kind of games. They got to get rolling, and when they have the chances, they need to convert them, because I don't think they are the best at creating chances every single game.
Yeah, I agree with you. Completely agree with you. Talk about chances. 7 gaming, the other side of the leaderboards. I felt when that zone shift came back to that northeast corner, they were in a petrol station, they held out, they were going to work their way in towards the zone. But it wasn't going to be the case for them. They actually didn't convert any points, more noise, but too much chaos happening around them. So they've got to do a little bit of a reset here. Because I think they will think that after that first game, they had a good opportunity to get some big points on the board, but they didn't deliver.
Yeah, just get torn apart. I mean, similar things for Hive, right? Not making it through the field. The BFL is never really making it into zone either. They get there and get immediately blown up. I was thinking they could be okay in those containers. If they get the smokes out, they get a bit of space for themselves. They start setting up good cover positions. They don't even get the chance. Belief just walks out, blows them up, game's over. And just like that. Or I think winner chicken dinner, walks out, blows them up. Game is immediately over. Didn't even get to join this one, so to speak. So a few teams on that bottom side of the scoreboard not really getting the chances they would have hoped for.
It is only one game. It is only one game. We still have 11 more up for grabs, though, before we will decide who is going to be the victor of the lobby. Bad rotation, though. I don't want to give them a bit of love because, yes, they didn't have the best start. They got denied early aggression from Slam G, but I think they made the right call. They turned back round. They had the opportunity to go for the res. Both Slam G and them went for the exchange to pick up the players, and they were the ones left there standing. So I like that from them. Another team could have easily just left that player behind. They could have just gone to find somewhere else to play from, but I like their stance. They wanted to go aggressive, and they were going aggressive early.
Absolutely. I'm looking at this leaderboard, and I'm looking at a Win or Die. I'm looking at a Hive. I'm looking at a Fairy Tale, right? Those would be the standard teams to pick up the slack and dominate these lobbies. Not looking at a Skittles in the first place, but they've shown that they can mess with the best. They've shown that they can hang. And again, they'll have another few chances. If they keep converting the good games like that one, no doubt they'll be very far towards the top.
Well, currently, if we was to stop the clock now, this is where the prize pool, 5,000 USD up for grabs. And obviously, the lion's share of the prize pool is going currently towards Skittles at the moment. But Go Next Esports will also be happy. But obviously, it will drop its way down. You're basically looking for a top 8 to ensure you get some money in your back pocket.
Yeah, this is a big change, right? 5,000, 5 times the prize pool of a player cup, massive change. The Masters is, again, it's 4 times that, right? Is what it is. That is also big money, but this is some real money on the cards here and makes it so much more attractive for the teams to play. But again, I think there's a big use case in just using these for practice, figuring these out, and just get your hands on the patch, get your hands on competitive gameplay while everybody else is still flying around, coming back from PNC, maybe going towards EWC. You're practicing, you're figuring out the meta, you're figuring out the game.
Well, one thing we need to figure out, though, is match number 2. It is a southwest up towards the east-northeast. Again, going through the heart of the soul, though. But it is time to Tago. Love the camera work this time. He's going to do a little swing up to the left and hopefully intercept the plane path that is going to go over his head.
Hopefully.
He's got this, I believe.
There you go. Had us doubting for a little bit. Maybe I'm just a doubter. I know. It's been hurt too many times in the past. You know how it is, Mark.
We've been scarred on this circuit. Oh, terrible. Good play, Ralph, though. I think a lot of the teams will be happy with this one. We did see some early aggression. I won't be too surprised. It's worth noting Skittles is a 3-man all today. So it doesn't seem to be putting them off. I do worry if they had a 4th, if they would have taken in more kills. But But yeah, good start for them early. They're going to go for the centre at the moment, and then not too in the distant future is Lock as I take the compound surrounding terminal.
Should be a slow start, but I've said that before as well. Doesn't really materialize most of the time. We'll have to keep our eyes on the east. All the bluish teams there. Looking very involved. Looking like they're rotating for cars. Yeah, struggling for cars, struggling for space. This is getting playing with fire. I think he gets himself a bike, but it's a little close. It's a little too close for comfort. You don't want to be caught on that one. Gets on the bike, stays safe for a bit, and should be able to get out of dodge.
That's very close. It was milliseconds in that. Zone does go late in the playing path, though. We're in the northeast corner. Shipyard is in. Obviously, we've got airport as well, but we've got a lot of unplayable terrain, especially on that east side. The red line will divide where you can and can't play. It's worth noting the river. Most of the time, we see it draw attention when it comes down to the zone, but then we've got the split. We've got that sort of dried up river running through that sort of west, but then also have the main river that breaches out by Shipyard as well. So be intrigued to see if it goes back to kind of that northwest area. If it plays down towards the south, really good areas of which we do know these teams are used to playing as well. So lots of open terrain, shields, deployable cover. They're going to be really critical if it does play that way. Or if we go back heavy east, that could be chaos ready to unfold.
Could be. I want to go northeast. I want to go where the zone never goes. It's like the Saki ending, right? On a wrangle, almost as bad. Where little dips is. We've seen circles slightly to the south. We've seen circles around where they are one is. All the way up to the northeast is super rare because of the water and the unplayable. It would be lovely to see that. Quinton's got to be a little careful what he's doing with his vehicle because he has skills breathing down his neck while cruising through the middle of the lock rotation right now.
Early rotation again. Actually, team looking to clash. That's driving. Quintex keeping 2 wheels down. Able to keep the car moving forwards. This is all going to be about trying to take some centralized-ish position. I think these teams will be waiting for that sort of shift towards that west, and more importantly, how far west does it go? And we're too surprised as well to see teams maybe going for a 2-2 split over this river, this sort of the shallow river, and that divides, I suppose, a lot of the west across to the east.
A lot of teams wanting to get across early, cross that divide. Make sure they don't get stuck on late. Sunflowy. Gotta be careful what you're doing with the car. But he does land it. He does cruise right into Conquest though, so that's a little tricky. A little tricky for them. We see the shots blasting as well. Skittles were trying to camp, or we're almost getting camped on their side of the road. But yeah, it's a full breach apparently just going in.
Fight for the compound. Belief. Hold it down. Conquest on the other side though. The team that used to try and stay away from the early engagement. They want to play late game. We lost one here. Equal system not too far away, but it is a rotation of field. And a lot of these teams that are coming in as well are going to hear this. Start getting a read on the kill feed. Ramsey. Let's see the player. He can't get the opportunity to get a shot off. Too much suppressive fires coming his way.
There's the numbers early. Already hampered in their approach. Even though they're against the 3-man, they'd love to have 4 numbers up. In a circle so close to where they loot, especially. You hate to be limited so early.
Yep. Especially if you need to sort of rotate away towards recall system as well. Your risk of, well, we fought for the compound. We're centralist now, and they're going to try and get some bodies back up. Not going to be the case at the moment. Ramsey still in that centralized position here for Conquest, able to try and stop that push from Belief. More teams have rotated their way in. That kind of donut effect where everyone packs into the center. So there's already teams like Without Dope on look into this one. We can see in the distance, Skittles now also going to cause some issues, but it's going to cause issues for Belief because they're playing on top of the roof. So we're too surprised to see that. But on the side of things, 7G, well, they clash in with Fairy Tale and Max also involved.
Another one of our big teams here. Losing members early again. Not looking clean, not looking easy to get inside the zone. Now cruising towards airport where they've got go next waiting. They want to hit a reset. You can feel it. You can tell. They just want to hit a warehouse, slow down, figure out what's going on. They're taking a whole lot of damage, taking casualties in phase 1. With 4 minutes to go until phase 2. Not the game start that Fairy Tail would have wanted.
No, definitely not. And a team which you look at the names in the lobby, a team that you'd expect to be up there, right? Lock on 1 kill. Drive around looking for some more. 7G. Out under pressure again. Salik just driving down. Ziki to the element that he's going to be quiet, but don't forget, can't see. He's seen him on the outside. He's now jumping on that window ledge, and Salik knows he can't get up. And now he has to turn around. He does a complete 180. He's actually used the cover to his advantage, and he gets away with it.
That is crazy. That is crazy. And he gets out of there. Kazoo doesn't want to bait him in. Doesn't want to make him enter the compound. He hits the window jump almost prematurely. But he wants to stay safe for now because 7G, yes, sure, you can bait the breach, but they're split themselves, right? They're only 2-man here. So they don't want to be taking the risks right now. They just want to hold this split for the next 2 minutes 30 until phase 2 comes in and tells them where they should be going.
Bad negative, Orm in hand. As he rotates his way in. I'll get the aerial shot though. 7G holding out. His soul just obviously jumped out that window, but got to give him benefit of doubt there from Locke that if he did try to play towards that road, he wouldn't have had the momentum in the car. He would have gone down. Again, turn around, 180. Gave him the protection that was needed. That wall cover denied the shots that were clean.
Another red zone. Not punishing anybody. We've been waiting for red zone casualties. We saw plenty of them
PNC.
at PNC.
Oh, felt for Denmark, boys.
Rough times. Not
That's rough as well.
Not rough times if you're listening to Twitch chat, who will say, well, just don't be in the red zone. It's your own fault if you get blown up.
It's hard though. They're about to hold out the push from Team UK and you then get denied from the godly powers of PUBG.
Yeah. Force majeure. Not really much you can do about it. SlamG, on the other hand, they're trying to do something about their positioning, but I think they're cruising into an ambush here, Mark.
Difficult. It's going to be difficult. SlamG now hearing and receiving some shots from Hadouken. Artix, though, it's in a good angle. I think Hadouken has an idea. So it does come off the roof. It would have been pretty much a free kill for Artix. Cars are safe. Should be waiting for this zone. And Artix, I wouldn't be too surprised if he gets back into his car and rotates back to his team. Takes the elevation away from the Skittles. Those trees really denied the shots from them shooting back towards SlamG.
First to lose another. Wow. Not looking super hot. Trying to get into better positions, trying to figure out where to go with this. But again, they're going in an odd timing. They were cruising through the middle of phase 1. Way before phase 2 comes around. Then phase 2 comes around and they're dying a minute before it. This is really odd to me. This could be the time now where you hop in the cars and you make a send. You try to get into the forest. You gotta get yourself a small compound, something along the likes. But this is really like a bit of a question mark to me. Why he's driving around the open space with enemies nearby just seconds before circle pop.
It feels like a missed time, doesn't it? You see a lot of players in the cars or getting ready for the cars or ensure they're driving as the zone hits, right? And it feel a little bit too early. Fairy Tail losing bodies, now applying the pressure as 7G rotate back towards the south. That's because the zone has shifted heavy towards that south to southwest. So we get rid of all the unplayable now. That's all now gone. That river, the dried up river, is going to be a factor. It's going to be difficult. A lot of our teams played more north. So We're going to see a few bottlenecks now as these teams start to migrate south.
Not only because of the hard south shift, but also because of the nature of this zone. It has a big forest in the middle that isn't super nicely played until more edges are out. So nobody...
Yeah.
You don't... If you're centering up, you're going to be proning around one of these power pylons or not really doing much else. It means a ton of the space in play isn't very attractive at the moment. And every edge compound, on the other hand, is... Because you like to just wait it out. Wee-woo are getting absolutely arrested by Win or Die coming through their compound. The breach is there. Levante hits
jump
what?
shot.
A disgusting drop shot.
He was pretty far in as well. He just jumps for it. Levante extinguishes the lights. What? For one. That's a full crash. Weewoo. There's an emergency elsewhere as they go for the evacuation back towards the west, back towards that forest that I was talking about. Back on the other side of things, well, looks like another breach or a near breach is without dope. Lurking on the edge here. Winner chicken dinner.
He comes out, doesn't do the trick, doesn't do the damage just yet. The molly, on the other hand, lands right on him, sets him on fire. I will put him back on the back foot. Pushes him away from the angle, but the longer this takes, the more support's going to be there for winner chicken dinner.
Love how he's using the camera angle to his advantage there. Sees the players now. Knows he can't get the shot without fully exposing. Backs up to the other side of the compound where the rest of his teams are. Now looking for another angle. Flash ready to go. And here comes a collapse. Winner chicken dinner now also breaching their way down. Providing the support that's needed. And it's quite tactically played. They do position themselves now on the south side. We're a 3-1 split. That solo has to have an impact.
As fast on the L1. Gotta be making sure to get use of this. Just sitting around won't do the trick. They found one on the outside. There it is. There's the trade. Iroswagami gets one at least. They gotta get a whole lot more than that. Looking like they are trading well at the moment though, Mark.
Yeah, they actually picked up the solo as well, so we're about to apply the pressure. That's clean from them. Their one is down. That zone shift. Wow, a heavy shift down towards a south-southeast. We lose pretty much all of the water. We had that forest now sit on the outside edge. This is where we're going to see teams sort of play into that position. 100 ADR, though, in a great spot again. They should be looking to try and hold out any teams coming across this west. If they can, it means they might be lurking for more kills. You've got to question Skittles. Skittles are also going to do the same. They are going to hold and try and rotate at the pinnacle time where they can get themselves in the third party.
This is the test for Skittles. One of those harder zones you have to be able to maneuver into if you want to be competing at the top of any PUBG lobby. Just winning a fight will never be enough by itself. Some games, you don't get given easy fights. Some days you really got to work to even get into a fight at all. So far looking good though. Again, there's the power pylons, right? You're going to be laying low, going to be taking your time. At least you're in for now, while plenty of teams are still struggling to get into a position like this.
This is going to be a struggle. Fairy tale. They lose Conf. He was on his way back, so we have to try and grab some gear. NEX gets the bike. I think that's critical. He's going to need it in a shortly. Beer fellas though get the first round. Kettle goes down. That was a bad rotation, definitely. This compound is already owned. Oh wow.
What? I was just waiting for that to whiz on by. I thought that was going to be over. They absolutely nailed him out of the car there. Gets the flush as well. Point confirmed. On the other side, Slam G is flying through Hive right now.
Yeah, Hive had such a bad start, right? So this is not the second game you really need here. First kill on the board now for Slam G. They're the same. Hive been pushed up towards the south side of the zone. Town is in the middle. Oh, look at how I thought he had to try and lay down. I thought the car was going to be over his head. He spins around, gets one, forces the second player across the bridge early. Doesn't quite get the connection where it's needed, but he's looking for that first kill.
I'll get that one. Nicely done. Clean shots from Lucario. Where do they go from here? That's a big question. That's a different question entirely. Because Locke is trying to have a handle on this. They're trying to not let them cross into their territory.
4 kills as well. Good hold from them. Oh, a little bit split. Get an opportunity to get some more meds. He swaps out as well towards that Balti. Sadiq. I think he's in a prime position. He sees the body now for Conquest underneath. There's that zone shift again. We do play again back towards the south. 7G. Actually, you mentioned Skittles. Skittles have found themselves now on the outside edge. So they did find the opportunity to thread the needle here. But talk about thread the needle. Jedrox, though, is charging on forward, though, with the nades. Damage was done, but Levante clears it up. But Great Nade comes back, and Jedrox has to dance around the rice field.
Tough spot to be in right now, but he's got the backup at least. He's got players looking over his shoulders. April can't say the same. He just has Go Next looking.
Good night.
Try and get the frag. These guys are playing absolute dodgeball at the moment with nades. A million nades have been thrown across that little dirt road. Gedrox stays alive for now. One more could do the trick for April. How have they not stopped? And what? He does find it. How does he still think that he has a chance to get that kill after throwing 15 nades? We see that they're all close. But the fact that April sticks to this is amazing to me.
Dodge, duck, and dive. It's more like battleships, to be fair. As they do send the nades over. April looking to try and get that confirmation, trying to salvage any points that he can. Time is ticking. Does go back to his defensive position. More nades to work their way towards him. And they're going to be there. They need to try and get that res on where they can. Levante scores a huge amounts of damage as the third party from Go Next Esports now causing both teams issues.
Well positioned from Go Next again. Putting themselves in a spot to benefit, and they do. Pick up one of the kills. Might even be able to pick themselves up one of Win or Die, which will make the following rest of the game much easier. Skills, on the other hand, they're exploding. They're going in on the fight. And I think they have lost Sloy, but Hakimari, he's not done just yet. Jumps out, gets the double.
Built different. Built different. Car's going to go. Gonna pop a smoke just in case. I was worried then. Double explosion. Smoke from Hakimari is on cue. He's the final player though for Skittles. A little dip that he could try and survive out. The zone should come back his way. 7 gaming though, they did find themselves on the outside edge. But at the top of the hill, a lot of teams rotate their way around. Locke has pulled up as well. AWM just in front. But 7 gaming. Very good game number 2 at the moment, but there's the Vector. It comes from behind. He's got to be careful. Queso trying to get rid of Go Next Esports into the forest. There you go. He's able to pick up Monty and put him down.
It comes over, will be short. Lux got the angle. On the other side. Should activate soon. There he is with the util for now. Problem is, he's getting crutched on by 7G as well, so his time is a bit limited. He does the damage here. 1 more nade bouncing past the shack would do the trick, but we know this. He doesn't. Now the push becomes actually quite tricky for himself, because there's so many different places Exib can take cover in.
Yeah, obviously with the solo blue zone nade as well. We really need to stack up the double. That'll cause some issues. Vlad picks up over. Realizes that he's got a player pretty close. And he comes over. He's in the Doritos. Boost it go, causing some damage. Vlad repositions again. As you go closer towards the nade. The airburst pretty much on point. Believes he's behind that rock at the moment. Sees the move though. And the molly again on point. But just behind Vlad's here. He's trying to stay alive as long as he can. Trying to find a position where he can catch the player from Go Next Esports. So I need to leave that rock eventually, but not just yet.
Just yet. Yeah, fellas, though, they got activated and they do. Getting themselves the opener and getting themselves a second.
Wow.
Big frags this game. From the new name on the team. Huge impact. ADR not even getting to play this game. They were in a good position to start this fight off, but they don't even get to. Just like that, down to 1.
180 yards, find themselves in a great position, but unable to convert, which was quite rare. Boogie, he's backed up against the rock now. He's going to be taking damage. Just gets off. No, doesn't get off in time. Does fall towards the zone. That's unfortunate. 180 yard playing the rotations to perfection. It's that mid-game. They're falling down on the fights and individual plays underpinning the strength this team normally has to bring. 7 kills for 7G as they now look in between the smoke wall for Lock. Look for the transition. Throw a nade. Oh my god. Battleships away. Lock, they're sunk. Ninth place, they're full.
No chance when the nade's that good. 7G now move up on to go next. Lalok hiding out in the car, gets spotted. Thought he could maybe hide in the back seat, but that was not a reality. Now the nade will catch him. Well placed. Nicely rolling under the car. Just like that. Go next. Looking worse for wear. And we will get a bit of a breather.
Bit of a breather at the moment. 7G using the util to perfection, so they are trying to work their way down. Jidrox though taking a late recall, but he finds himself right on top of level 3 armor. Level 3 vest, level 3 helmet, but it's not going to make any difference though as he puts it on his back. And the 7G, well, Gwynix will put him down. SlamG trying to get that confirmation. Zone shift goes away, and 7G looking to make points up here, Koho, after missing game number 1.
Clean so far. Dominant so far. Sweeping their edge. Not a free position that they were in. They had to hold down the forest, and it wasn't ever going to be easy, but they've handled it beautifully. Never let anyone get close. Win or die. SlamG, they might keep themselves busy here on the south now. Might allow for 7G to activate, but I'm seeing that in the kill feed, and that is not good. Losing a member, even if they do get the res here, Mark, slows them down so much, and zone's about to start moving.
I think the only option they've got now is that kind of crash onto Weewoo, right? That's that single shack. They're on a split. Do they have the information? Maybe not. They're coming in quite late. They've been fighting other teams around them, so I know someone is on the shack, but how many, and do they have the off angle? Most probably not. South side of the zone, though. Obviously, we saw SlamG. They've got to get moving. I love that Laosh for win or die. He's just holding the rice field. He's trying to wait for that team to breach over the top, but 7G are getting involved in that fight. That's right. He's got the high ground advantage across the zone, but people can shoot back. That SlamG going to cause some problems.
They get themselves almost towards that flush. There it is. Or gets his. X-Hype's got to do big work here. He's got a lot of names he's got to put on his belt.
Stolen.
Gets stolen. Gets flushed. They don't make it down the hill. Drone. Down and out. Just like that, down to 6 teams. But everybody that has to make moves and is open to the teams around the field gets himself blasted.
This is a typical Tago style ending. Rice field's in. Dips and crevices to play. 3 kills for SlamG. I think they'll be poising for more, but fortunate for them, a lot more of the action taken into that forest on that north. We've got to try and convert out some placement points. Still short of placement points though. We are looking for a top 4 if you have just joined in. It's actually one of the last events where you are going to see it. The trial format, the half price chicken dinner. As we're going back to full price. Go next, Esports. Well, they've only got 1 player left. No idea he's here. That is worrying here. 7G tunnel visioned in for some kills. At what point, Koho, do you activate and cause damage?
Oh, it's really hard because he's also getting pulled up from behind at some point, right? Winadai is going to start peeking over. Winadai is going to try and take the fight to 7G here, so timing is really, really tricky. 4 fine. Right now, the first few knocks are popping off. It's going the way of 7G. And on the other side of the map, nades are just tearing apart everything.
Yeah, feels like a util dump this game though. Okay, so repositions, tries to do the dance of the dance. Werzik does find him. So they got 1 blue zone nade left. 7G down bodies. Beerfellas up to 8 kills. Fine. Store laying low. Unknown. As Will or Die, as you say, they are starting to push in. This could be dangerous. Go Next Esports trying to let a few more teams maybe check out of this game. Going to be trying to work out whether they're in a good position to try and take good placement. Will or Die, they're literally running the open field. 6 teams remain, but there's only 10 bodies up.
That's crazy low. But it is phase 7, and it is an entire field, as you said. Now SlamG roughly kept up the numbers. They lost out on the Rex. They are looking to make them move on in. Little Dips, he's got a lot of work cut out for him. They don't know exactly where he is, but they will find out, sure enough. As Artix, who steps it up, takes him out, puts himself in a very playable spot now. If they keep Mogora in this, he can be a massive pain to win or die, and that could be enough to win them the game.
And that's why Head of My Bad will fall. Mogora's in such a good spot. It's when he loses the zone. If they haven't applied enough pressure, if they haven't got rid of the numbers of Win or Die, then he won't have the freedom to join the rest of the team. But SlamG now up to 7. Boostic having a little peekaboo over the top. 7G, Aphrodite Store knowing that he's got a neighbour so close to him. So I do fear the moment he steps around that rock, he is going to step on a little bit of a surprise.
Victory here should be winner by SlamG. There's a surprise.
There you go.
Well done, observers, for catching it. Fine, still in it. Still alive. We hear that smoke now. He's going to have a bit of a gander. He could dismantle Win or Die. They're not ready for him here.
Oh, Mogore's going to cause some problems, though. Nade should be locked in towards the smoke. There it goes. Oh, good. Let's get that confirmation. Hell of my bad. Nade's caused some damage here to the Vante as well. And the usual dump going back. Well, gets caught up in the rice fields. Vante, he has to play peekaboo over. He wants to try and get rid of Mogore. And there we go. Go next. Activate. Levante is going to fall. 5 kills on the board. It's technically a 2 versus 3 versus 1 versus 1. The solos, though, are descending. Here come the nades, though. Werzik jumps up and over. Spray doesn't quite get a connection. And Mogore causes more problems.
Absolute unit right now. Putting SlamG on his shoulders. Putting them into a very winnable late game now. The only team with a lot of playable space. Fine's got nowhere to go. Werzik is going to be on a silver platter once SlamG takes the space. It's a matter of time. How long do they get held out by Leosh? How long do they keep busy? Because once that's done, they can sweep up left, and they will claim this game. Surely. Surely not fumbling.
Is the one, though. You made the call. Like, he's so critical to stop in. Go next. Beerfellas play peekaboo. Dismantle that Win or Die hold against SlamG. There's an argument to say maybe if Beerfellas came the other way, they would have peeked on over towards SlamG as well. Right. That's the dance, the fine line between the blue zone and the BZ nade. Now he takes towards the train. It's just going to be a matter of time before Werzik knows. He has to play peekaboo. He has to now take the charge. He goes over the top. The spray is not good. And it is Boostic, though, from SlamG. He gets the final blow for Go Next Esports.
Werzik's looking. Finds Artix in the open. Doesn't get the connection. Still want to worry about Leosh as well. If they just group up, there should be no way in hell this slips out of their fingers. No more smokes left now for Leosh. Last one. There's a bit of life in it. Where does it go? Where does Leosh go? It's just... every bit of space is getting held down by SlamG.
Found himself an additional 3 points, unless he can get the conversion. Put another 2. And comes in. Does cause some damage. Mutual dump low. More nades, more blue zones going to force him back the other way. SlamG surely cannot lose this one. Werzik is going to try his opportunity. He goes wide. Oh, he steps on the molly. It's done, dusted. It's 3 points though for the beer fellas. The Slam G will they claim the full 5 points. 11 kills for them, but 7G, 12 kills in game number 2. That there made up for the loss on game 1.
Oh yeah, it does. 12 kills goes a really long way, and it's super interesting now on this format how often I get a little surprised almost to see a team that just pop the hell off, and then I do the maths and I'm like, wow, this is just amazing for them. The points, the placement points are so reduced now on this format at the moment. You get 12 kills in a game, it's an absolutely massive game. A small win isn't really it anymore, right? These games are what defines the tournament. So a big one for 7G, even though they're not even in the conversation to win this one.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I do like the zone. It's an interesting play. Obviously, we've had so much unplayable in that zone shift down towards that south. I think it forced a lot of teams into that forestry area that you spoke about. It's lots of early engagement. Skit was played well. 7G held that edge I think that they wanted from that game number 1. And then when we end up in the rice fields here, Koho, it just screams out Tago. You've got to be cautious. You've got to push at the right time. If you push too early, you get punished from teams third party in your back.
Yeah, tricky stuff for a lot of our teams. Well handled though by both Win or Die and SlamG. I feel like here SlamG with a slightly easier approach, as they could just pick when to move across the road. Win or Die though, lots of survivability in that field that wasn't easy to achieve.
No, not at all. Not at all. You normally see teams get punished for it, but it did survive out all the way towards the end. Great molly, though, to close things out, though. But SlamG will take the victory. And take the victory with the kills. So good control from them. 11 kills with additional 5 placement points, though. Not a bad game. Again, a team that went out quite early for game number 1. So multiple teams making up, though, in game 2.
A lot of them making it up in game 2. That's half of the day done for us. We're going to hit you with a short break, and then we'll be right back with game number 3 and 4.
It's so exciting seeing 24 countries again. It's so different than before.
I come to another tournament of PUBG, and this tournament is very big for me.
I won't lie, it's my first time and I'm nervous.
非常的羡慕，然后很向往，所以这次能参加 PNC 还是对自己挺骄傲的。
I enjoyed playing the game with you guys and enjoyed the nice trip to Korea.
I mean, the boys thought that we didn't qualify. We all were happy because we know that we play finals.
The most memorable is probably just the people you get to meet, a lot of new faces and a lot of new people you finally get to meet face to face.
今年はちょっと、自分がオーダーをしていたんですけど、やっぱオーダー経験がちょっと浅くて、そう味方をうまく動かせなかったっていうのが。
PNC is like an unscripted movie, and I'm very excited for next year.
Thank you guys very much for supporting us, and hopefully we'll be here again next year.
Thank you to all the fans from all different languages and cultures. I think it's wild that we have such an intersection here.
就大家辛苦了吧，就是感觉这次是个就很棒的比赛。
It's been a difficult 5 days for us, but I'm thankful to my teammates and all the fans for supporting us the whole time.
Y estoy muy orgulloso de mi nivel. We really appreciate the invite. I hope there will be Philippines on next year.
我的 PNC 也结束了，那我希望你们还是一样可以继续支持 PNC。
Participating to PNC as team friends is really nice. 이번에 처음 나온 나라들도 있고 처음 나온 선수들도 많을 텐데 재밌게 경기력을 보여줘서 고맙다고 생각하고 있습니다.
collaboration with ESPA, and some changes to vehicle camo netting. All this and more as we dive into the update 36.2 patch report. First up,
2 games done, halfway after. We have to check on the leaderboard though. Codex Esports able to hold on and drive themselves up towards that top spot. Playing sneaky snake in the grass. Skittles will drop down to second, but it's all talking points though. Slam G and 7 Gaming. I'd even argue maybe to say Beer Fellas. Really impressive start though for game number 2. Puts them back on the top side of the leaderboard.
Leaderboard bunching up a bit more like you'd expected. More trickling down than the abrupt thing with Skittles and Go Next dominating after the first one. Nobody else having any points to speak of. Slam G, like you said, right? Consistency is king. This is a big game to get them back into the conversation, and skills are on the other side of that coin. A hard game for them. Don't really get anything going, and just like that, you slip out of first place.
Well, slip out of first place and slip yourself into match number 3, though. Rondo with a south towards a north. Does push a little bit more on the west side of the map. The talking point for me now, really, Koa, is Hive. Unable to get off any points so far, which I'm very surprised about, especially knowing the teams, that team and the players that hit that roster.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's only 2 games, right? A lot can happen in 2 games. It's just you would expect Hive to be so much better than the lobby, then it doesn't really apply to them. It really only applies when the lobby is rather well matched, and I feel like Hive should be a level above. They should be beyond performances like this, but again, a lot can happen in 2 games. I don't think we should be too worried just yet.
You're right. He's only 2 games down. Total 12 is to go. 10 more remain. Plane's done. Dusted. We don't want a chicken dinner. It's going to be sharing that Nux Factory with 100 ADR. Normally see 100 ADR sit on the outside edge and sort of play in for the third party, especially when we have Navi and sort of Twisted Minds, but not here. So they take the opportunity to gain as much loot as they can. Pretty much looking across the board, everyone's found their prior spots. No one really contested. And the zone, well, it appears in the mid pack. Yuling's there. Lots of factors we need to take in for the mid game, which is going to be those high pinpoints, those rock pillars. The zone will shift away, hard shift away, especially from the phase 3, phase 4. But for now, some of these teams might be, especially the ones around the outside edge here, Koa, looking for the gliders.
Yeah.
Because that'd be critical coming into the late game.
For sure. Plenty of them to grab. Skittles looking for one on the north, I believe, and Conquest north of Ryan. They can get themselves a glider. We'll see what Winatai does. They're quite late to loot here. Getrox is still in his parachute. They're generally a team that likes to be gliding around as well. And then on the southern edge, gonna have a go next with one, maybe a Weewoo shifting west and going for a glider, but much less interesting for those teams because they already have access to center spots in the circle. They don't really need the glider nearly as much, and they don't need to invest the time it takes to get one going. So mainly expecting our northern and our eastern teams to go for gliders here, but that might just end us up with Skittles, Conquest, and nobody else.
I have to wait and see. I'm with you though. This team's getting a bit of loot here. One or die. Again, another household name. Looking for them to make the move in. Weewoo. Brings up my inner child when I see that name. I just instantly feel like I'm 5 again. Screaming out Weewoo. They're going to get looted and move their way in, but on the south side of the zone, so they have that rotation across the bridge and further in. I'm going to try and grab that glider as well. So, just see. And then the other side of things, well, we've got Skittles on the north has done a bit of looting. Go for the car again, looking mostly for that glider. So that will give them that verticality, the ability to scout. There it is. To try and get the rest of their team in. So intrigued to see. Maybe Hakamari hasn't got the fuel can just yet.
EP comes in for Belief meanwhile. Another way to travel the skies. Conf. What's going on there? Observers caught him red-handed. The man just pressed F.
Took a tumble.
Ay.
Hands was too heavy, guy. That's what it was. It knocked him off balance.
You hate to see it. You gotta hope they get him in the car and reset that quickly. But even if they do, they're in the middle of phase 1. Like, this is costing them a ton of time.
It's painful. Lucky enough for them, there isn't too many teams sort of working their way in from that northeast. This could be punishing, especially in a later zone. Teams like 180R, they're going for an E-rotate. That's that line you can see just below them, that mini map. So they're going to take the opportunity to pop a few smokes just to make sure they're covered. And now April has to sort of drive forward to try and find the compound. What does he know? Locke's already taken it, and Sadik's here waiting.
Gets the shots out. Makes his presence known. April wants to start the util. He's got teammates backing him up, so Sadik has to go. Sadik's got to try and leave if he still can. Gotta get towards the back of the compound. It's gonna get awkward between these.
This is not what the guys need, especially they've received a knock. Lock. Taking up quite a bit of compound. It's kind of an end zone compound for me. I feel like it might play that way, especially if it does continue that sort of west and we hold on to those sort of big pillars that we see Arctics now just driving by. Really good areas as well. Keeps the car safe and can gain a lot of information when teams rotating around. So just need to be cautious you don't get caught in now. They put up into the compound as well. A lot more teams opting to go further west, especially for this zone.
The natural approach. You get away from the plane path. You get away from the majority of the teams. So you get yourself more space. Less contested space. Belief now. EP coming into some vehicles, but gotta play their cards right here. They gotta be a little careful. Make sure they don't get hunted down.
Make sure they don't get hunted down. Let's back away slightly. Takes a ridge line, 180R. He did take that E-rotate and just saw him sort of sending it to the main town. I believe send it further afield, but bad rotation already here as well. Early rotations for quite a number of teams. It's part and parcel because of where we find his position, but here's the car. Senses danger. That's a two-man up here. They can provide the pressure, and more importantly, they get the knock and the confirm, able to get back in towards the car and get going as they have reinforcements providing heavy cover.
That's crazy. That's a catch and a half. Not for the kill point, but because they're in a situation where they don't have much control, they don't have much info coming in with the EP, right? They're coming in quite late into rather taken territory that they don't know much about, but instantly decimating the team next to them, instantly getting themselves a lot more space, another vehicle, and weakening a team that could have been punishing them.
Another E-rotate. It's working its way in. As Conquest on the last now to take the E-rotate. Skill still on the outside edge, though. I feel like they're potentially still looking for a gas can to get their glider rolling. However, we spoke about no points on the board. For me, a team I wouldn't be too worried about, a bit shocked, but 10 games, still expecting to deliver. Belief, well, they look to the heavens for some belief and they find themselves some opportunities here. The player gets some good damage. Werzik unable to get the conversion, but the beer fillers have literally landed right in the middle of this.
It's a super late EP, and now not only are they getting blasted in the air, they're not even making it into town. They got nowhere to go. It's honestly a terrible EP, Mark. This is not something I will say regularly. It's very easy to say that from a comfortable caster chair at home where we don't have to play the game, but they're in so late, but then they're also not waiting for phase 2 pop that would have told them where to go and where they could have went. They also get stuck in the middle of the field, even without a team in the city. They would have lost players to believe, but with a team in the city, they're just dead in the water here, I think.
Yeah, probably are. We stick punches Queso as he does go down. They're looking to try and chase kills down. Slam G hold their position. Conquest after the EP. Grab the cars. They go a little bit further and find themselves a new home. again, find themselves pretty much on that sort of south side here. This final team now arrives from that north, as we do find Skittles coming in pretty much to a complete free. Chao Ting, no one's really there. Hive is the most north team, and they're on the other side of the hill. If you haven't already, though, get the map stream up. Exclamation mark map in chat. I'll give you a link towards, and you can keep an eye on where these teams are rotating. It's so critical, because as Koa was saying, that EP, they could have delayed it and actually been in the air when that phase 1 to phase 2 shift happened.
Oh, there's a beautiful nade. Oh. Somehow it doesn't do much damage, and somehow ADR have not reinforced this one. They know there's an entire team. It doesn't matter.
Don't need to.
It doesn't matter. They're just vaulting in. Maybe a third. Nope. Yep.
Oh my days.
Okay. Count them up. Put them down. It ain't looking good for the beer fellas. Opium Sidekid can get the 4th if he wants to. And he damn well does. A single knock comes their way. And it's free farming for ADR.
Saki was like, lads, I don't need you. I don't need you. I'm going to get a squad wipe here. He did try to deny him. That is a heavy shift back towards the northeast. Real heavy shift. We see so many ends more towards the west here. So a lot of rotation. These teams have to get shifting back. Like enough for 100 ADR. They have cleared the fight. They also need to rotate. But it has paid off. Skittles, who arrive late, they get a bit of a blessing here as the zone shift goes heavy back their way.
Couldn't have gone better for them. Couldn't have had a better shift. When I went in Chicken Dinner, splitting 2 of the most important compounds that, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of. Those are, especially the center compound here is so massive, you can't really hold it. It might get really hard to leave once Skittles get around. You play in the rocks on their north, etc. But they are greedy with it. They want to get away with everything. We'll see if they can.
Why not? Why not? All eyes will be on those kind of pillars now, and the zone going to shift away. Conquest getting caught in some of that rotation. Weewoo alarms are singing. Get away with it slightly. Actually get their knock. As it goes down, smoke's going to come out. It's on the other side of the ridge. I don't think they can get the conversion, but it doesn't mean they can get in the cars and apply pressure if they want to, or they have the option now to get in the cars and rotate to zone.
Want to do just that. When I had been walking up again, sneaking up was Gedrox. On 2 without dope. Early util getting exchanged, bit of damage getting exchanged, but no knocks. So it's a quick retreat. And it's both teams staying alive.
Yeah. Knock could have been different. Knocks on the other side though. Fairy Tale. They need to come back in. They are down to 2. So on the kill feed, they did get some exchange back. Can't flow further afield. Fairy Tale not playing as tight as they normally do, so reliant on the very small angle. Needs to ensure he connects those shots if he sees Mogor make the extension over. He doesn't need to. He peeks around the smoke and gets bright side down. Fairy Tale. Not the Fairy Tale start that they needed. Bright side, well, he knows there's no coming back from here. And Conf with an MK and pans up. There's no pushing forward from this man.
Well, he's pushing forward. One is in his back. Puts the damage in. Makes things harder than they should
my
be.
God.
But what is that? Conf just sits him the heck down. No way.
I just thought he's hear the cars. He wasn't going to make the play forward. He made the play forward, gets punished, but turns around and sits him down quickly. Looking for maybe to exchange out that Panzer. Or maybe try and go for the hold. He actually goes for the AK now. Keeps the Panzer in his back pocket. Wait for the crash now to come through. They know who's there, especially for without dope. They've been reading the kill feed, so they know Fairy Tale's down to solo. So temptation might draw them in. It's going well. He's got the AWM in hand. I think they'll also be very keen just to get eyes on those smokes in the distance.
Big shift again. We're going south. A lot of teams just arriving on that southern side as well. Hoping that they don't clash here. Levante keeps himself safe. Tucks himself in with the rest of the squad. As ADR just fly into Yulin here. They're happy to be playing out of Yulin, it seems. Not even going to bring their cars with them. Gonna clear some ground first on foot. I really don't think Win or Die is just gonna let them get away with it though.
No, I agree. Here first, right? Here to stay. Gonna need a big game. We East rotation now. We'll play a lot of these teams can play away from the sort of high ground. Conf though on the Panzer. Panzer versus Panzer action. Be careful, can't shoot out that way. He does get the knock. He's gonna go down too close to the window. Conf gets a knock, but nothing else.
There's that fight around the big compound. Going to find himself one. Gotta run away with it. Oh, and Schengen is doing so much work now. Makes this easy for Dante. They can charge it down, run it down, pick it up. Just like that. Rox gets himself the last. They stay 4-man up. Hive finally points on the board.
Yep. That's the Hive we're used to seeing. Clear a bit of space, a bit of third party, but let's get the reset. More important, as you say, they've still got 4 bodies up. Go next Esports though. On the rotation. Again, they're coming around for the 7G, but have a quick look back at that replay. Conf, though, in open terrain, knocks him. What a play. Big owners. He refused to get moved.
Love it. Love to see it. Position matters. Getting the jump on someone matters, but it's still a shooter. If you don't get your shots to connect, nothing that you do in this game really matters. And saw a bit of that right there. Frenty connects to the head of Groan. Puts him down. Makes things trickier for 7G than they looked like a few seconds ago.
It's difficult for 7G, isn't it now? Especially with Belief just taking the sort of base of the hill. Right, the Z keys his way down. Trying to get as close as he can. Max is getting involved as well. Go next Esports. That might be a little bit more of a green light for the guys from 7G just to get involved. Got 2 looking his way. Great peaks come through. It's actually Grown that gets the knock. On the other side, he's got the high ground. He gets the second as well. Now 7G, yes, it was quite hard, but now they find some space. Nade is cooked, looking for the conversion. They also know they got Go Next Esports breathing down their neck on the south.
They want to go fast and they want to stay as clean as they can. Afrite does get himself both of the flushes. Gidrox and bringing the pain to Weewoo, but he's left to his own devices. He's got to fall away from things. They have to remember that they still have an entire team ADR right next to them. You can see on the minimap that they got them surrounded. You can see that when Nadai actually do have Levante behind ADR, but they're biting off a lot. They're biting off a lot right now here. Gedrox continuing to do so. We'll hope that they'll be able to chew it.
It's huge for him as well. Goes to the smoke, just uses the opportunity to look around, and I'm not too surprised he might have done for the jump. He saw the car rotate away as well, so gaining more information. I think they want to take the fight for 100 ADR, as you mentioned. Levante's there, and there you go. Super secret snaky play. Works out. Now he knows where the player is before. It's 2 versus 1. Nade comes through, causes some damage here for Levante. Go Next Esports do go down. 11th place for them. Nade continues to go through. Defensive smoke, though, comes out. Goes for the molly on the other side. That's a great play. He's buying himself time here, Koo, for the rest of the team to provide some backup.
Beautifully done. Could have been needed there right away, but moves a little bit. Uses his own util to alleviate so much of that pressure, and now he's already got the backup. He's already got the support. Gedrox is back from his adventures. The rest of the squad is there to help. The nade is fantastic. Levante doing Levante things with the backup of his team. So much scarier.
The util's just providing so much pressure here. You kind of guessed that they might have pushed forward towards the other one, but they're just double checking. They actually run clean pass here. It looks like it's going to have to dig deep. It's 3 versus 1. He's got the angle though. Lines things up though. Potentially gets for 1 though. He backs away. Go for the second. Repeat though. Doesn't quite happen. Will die eventually, but it was doable. It's questionable, but 100 ADR full.
A lot of damage done. If he gets the second knock there, he might actually get the flushes as well. The blue zone's coming in. Could only carry 1 in. He gets 2 knocks. but it's not enough in the end. Well done. I win or die. Clean enough. Just clean enough with it. Do not lose numbers here, which they will desperately need, Mark, once they move out. Wheel in.
You lose the high grounds, those pillars now, so ends in the field. Hive onto 7 kills, so looking to make that comeback game, make up for those 2 missed opportunities. So this shift go away without dope, holding that hard cover. We don't want to chicken dinner in a dip though, but being blessed element with a drop as well. So there it goes. Hard cover gone to a degree, and more importantly, the high ground completely gone. It's only really that sort of mound in the middle, so seems to have the opportunity to sort of play around. Be interested to see if any team, especially in the hard cover they've got, any deployable shields. They could be critical in this mid game. Let's wait and see.
Skittles tested again there. Kind of maneuver their way out of Hive. Big pull up in the middle of the field. Shut down by Boostic. Man's on 4. Last game it was Mogore. This game it's Boostic. It's the 2 young guns. It's the 2 pop-offs. Almost every single time. Slam G. Artix being the older IGL. The experienced leader. And then Lurix, just being the guy that's flushed first today. I think 3 games in a row, he's first one dead. It's not been his day.
It has not been his day. Interesting actually that when Chicken Dinner made that play, they were in zone. They had a little ridge line, a little bulge play, but opted to go a little bit deeper in towards zone, maybe looking to try and play the late game. Levante gets that confirmation. Hive now on 7. Schengen's got that links. Hasn't got that connection just yet. They also have control as Winodai leave the safety of their compound, Panzer in hand, driving forward. And they just double check as they get rid of that position that winner Chicken Dinner in too long ago.
Nice shots from a Duke and does a whole lot of damage. Makes things easy for Hakimari to pick up 1. Now X-Hype's got nowhere to go. Can we get the flush? Yes. Hive not going to steal that point away, but they get more delivered to them. And they pick them up. 9 frags for Hive. They are so back.
Back again. Yeah, they are back, to be fair. That's going to really skyrocket them up on that leaderboard. Right, redeploys that shield we talked about, so it's going to help. Special Winodai. Get that res back in. The smoke start to dissipate, and there they go. They go for the charge. That's a Hadouken. Is there a C4 sitting on that? I don't know. Goes back to safety, but he doesn't need. Does go down. Avante spearheads the attack. And Hadouken, well, he might have been playing a different game now.
Looking out for him. Loy in a tough spot now. Hive sweeping. Hive clearing. There's the nades. 1 more landed could do the trick. First, the flush comes in. And you can see some of the Hive players already looking for different fights, already making sure to put damage into teams that are much further afield. Rox was picking up a long range knock that we see on the map on the right. Rest of Hive, Schengen especially, already working towards Win or Die. They were just taking this for granted. They knew they had skills in a bad spot. They knew they were going to close them out. And they're already started working on the rest of their game.
Yeah, Rox is being held out by Slam G, but he is literally making the most of it at the moment. His vest gone. I think he does have a couple of bunny hops just to see if Slam G are opting to sort of make the push. The rest of the guys moving around on the east, and now he's going to take his opportunity to leave and work his way around. Dante on looking towards Will or Die. So I kind of feel like we're just chasing our way around clockwise of the map at the moment. All teams playing the outside edge, all teams looking for more and more kills. Without Dope on the other hand though, they've been here a while, don't forget. They've been in this compound. They rotated this way quite early. It's not a strong ending for them. But they'll be looking now with the team only with the hard cover. All eyes focus outwards. Just going to count how many kills they're going to be able to bag this game.
This is one of those situations that really suffers in the new point format. You sit in a compound, you get all the zones you could ever want, but no one ever comes to you, no one ever breaches you. It's hard to get the kills on the board, and then a team like Hive rocks up into the top 5 with 10 frags already.
Yeah.
They've already had a blast of a game. Yours hasn't even started yet.
Yeah, they're waiting for that game. One more team to fall though before we see placement points. So Hive bouncing back the other way, now playing their way towards kind of Slam G without Dope. 2 kills on the board, so they're not on a donut at the moment. They will be waiting for the next fight to sort of happen. And there's the C4. It wasn't going to be long. Schengen just trying to figure out exactly where to plant the car, but Arctic though gets a knock. That could be detrimental. Maybe the C4 play is crucial now as they do send the car forward. I don't think he's got enough momentum. Maybe the hill will drive it on down. Slam G know exactly what's happening, and they scrabble to the outside of the zone. But oh my god, he runs straight into it. Rox thought he was running safe, but he was running straight into Boostic C4.
He didn't know when it was going to explode, right? He thought it was going to explode much closer to the original position, but it rolls on by. And so it does catch him out. Could be a res on the cards here for Slam G, but they got no space, no nothing. Surely has cost them. Circle's a bit forgiving, as I think basically nobody has much cover left, except for without Dope. But on the map it does look like in front of Slam G here, slightly to their east, could be just enough low ground to play.
That little dip where that car went through, right? That's where it build up that momentum. They can sort of push into that area. Surely win or die. If they stay where they are, they can punish him. I suppose it's going to come down to moving with the zone here. If they go too early, I think they get punished. If they go late, they might stand a chance. My big question is, who is going to crash without Dope? Because they've got to keep a 360 field of view vision up. It could come from any one of these teams. The Sharks are looming. Wonder if anyone's going to try and take a bite.
Alabama picked up a Panzerfaust. Levante is holding with the arm, so looking like that's the team. They're going to try and take a chunk out of this. MK and Orm, that is actually crazy. Crazy loot for win or die. Will it matter? We'll have to wait and see. Gedrock stopping on the rock could be crazy, but isn't he open to Hive here, Mark?
I think he is. Right, Dope hit the Panzer though. Jedrox goes down. Surely Hive going to activate now. They're going to swing their way around. Dante does get involved. Laosh's gone to full. Nate comes in. Nate could be big. It is. Unfortunately for win or die, they fall without Dope claim some points, but so do Hive. Now we see the backfield. This is the domino effect though. One has fallen. Everyone else now wants a piece of it.
Disaster for Dope as well. Yes, they got the frags, but losing one here means their chances of winning the game just plummeted. In absolute free fall. They would have needed to keep that up, and Hive being able to make the push comfortably, no pressure at all. It's bad news bears for without Dope as well.
It is unfortunate for them. Presenti opts the swap towards that Panzer, looking for the peak without Dope though. Focusing now towards that sort of southwest corner. Hive have an argument that they could maybe walk up on this without Dope. So they have put that separation. So Schengen can have an element of angles. He does jump up. That's going to expose his position if they were looking this way. Now comes the run it in. Hive taking the hard cover. Slam G do come in late. They do play to that area that you talk about. But uncontended, all eyes still remain on the compound.
One's got to explode. But Conquest is just waiting for that, so whenever the play comes out, third party is soon to follow. Luzon does good damage. But that's all she wrote for now. Schengen wants to clear space with the Panzerfaust. They've already cleared a lot of space. They've already gotten themselves a lot. How blind is Skinning at this point? They're gonna hear him now. They're gonna hear him run away from the blue zone. The game is up. And Little Dips is caught on the other side. It's almost already over. But without Dope here.
Do you get one back here from Hive? Slam G, again, still waiting in the wings at the moment. There goes a flash, goes straight through, does get the catch, looking for the second. No, but look at that, Conquest. They're not getting involved. They've been left to their own devices. They're stepping up onto the compound and stepping in. Schengen, though, tries to stop the push here. Monty does get boosted down. Artix is also going to fall. As Conquest, though, the ones that have been quiet on the outside edge, they are causing huge amounts of damage and noise.
Finally, the sweep is there, the clear is there. 13 frags for Hive, but at what cost? They're going to try and get the double reses, and they will.
Wow. And
there's no reaction from Conquest at all. They don't want to get aggressive. They don't have much HP themselves. It's an insane reset. Here for Hive, their game was essentially over. Now they're already looking like a winner again.
You'd even argue to say, like, they took so long to clear without dope. Conquest had the opportunity, but with those reses, it goes back into their favour. The dot hands back towards the compound. Conquest on looking towards Slam G. It's only Mogor left. We know we can have an impact, but with no vehicles now, no ability to get aggressive over here. Talk about aggressive Presenti to try and present a Panzer in the face of Conquest.
Pulls out the nade again here, but probably want to get that Panzer ready at least. Got to make sure you get the angle on the building. It doesn't matter. Swings around. Always Mounty up before he can do anything. Cleans up the game just like that. No problem. Third person peek from Hive. 15 frags for them. Mark. They are so back.
20-point game. 20-point game. You can even see him jumping off the roof with the Panzer. It's my kill. It's my kill. I'm going to finish it. But no, they missed two opportunities. Game 1 and Game 2. Game 3 they delivered. And arguably they delivered themselves up towards the top side of that leaderboard. So good play from them. I am still shocked though that Conquest didn't punish after the hard work they'd done quite early on. It was I think they're going to look back at that game and go, actually, you know what, if we continue to apply the pressure, we might have been able to win that.
Yeah, it's always easy to say, right, for us here, but man, really felt like they should have had that. Oof.
It was like the game of Panzers, though.
Did Conf jump out of a driving vehicle to knock himself the first time, and then Panzerfaust himself to flush himself later on?
He didn't want to play Rondo, mate. He just did not want to play Rondo.
No. Didn't want to start it. His teammates raised him back up, even though he didn't want to. Yeah. Unfortunate things. Dukin makes a C4 play without C4. Doesn't work out for him. Is this one? That's a little unlucky for Boostic, I feel like.
That is so unlucky for Boostic. And it was a double bluff play with C4 without the C4. This was interesting though. Hive did take quite arguably a good amount of time to try and dig out without dope. Without dope, survivability really strong. Presenti looking to try and close out the game. As he does find the body laying down. Look at that. He's my kill. He's my kill. No, I'm going to finish this one. We don't want a chicken dinner. Hive back in it.
Absolutely back in it. Explosive Rondo. Nothing new there. Crazy amount of drop guns. C4 play works out. But we have one more game for you guys, right? We're going to go to one short break for this. And then we have the last game of the night up for you in just a few minutes. So don't go anywhere.
It's so exciting seeing 24 countries again. It's so different than before.
I come to another tournament of PUBG, and this tournament is very big for me.
I won't lie, it's my first time and I'm nervous.
非常的羡慕，然后很向往，所以这一次能参加 PNC 还是对自己挺骄傲的。
I enjoyed playing the game with you guys and enjoyed the nice trip to Korea.
I mean, the boys thought that we didn't qualify. We all were happy because we know that we play finals.
The most memorable is probably just the people you get to meet, a lot of new faces and a lot of new people you finally get to meet face to face.
今年はちょっと、自分がオーダーをしていたんですけど、やっぱオーダー経験がちょっと浅くて、味方をうまく動かせなかったっていうのが。
PNC is like an unscripted movie, and I'm very excited for next year.
Thank you guys very much for supporting us, and hopefully we'll be here again next year.
Thank you to all the fans from all different languages and cultures. I think it's wild that we have such an intersection here.
就大家辛苦了吧，就是感觉这次是个就很棒的比赛。
It's been a difficult 5 days for us, but I'm thankful to my teammates and all the fans for supporting us the whole time.
Y estoy muy orgulloso de mi nivel. We really appreciate the invite. I hope there will be Philippines on next year.
我的 PNC 也结束了，那我希望你们还是一样可以继续支持 PNC。
Participating to PNC as team friends is really nice.
이번에 처음 나온 나라들도 있고 처음 나온 선수들도 많을 텐데 재밌게 경기력을 보여줘서 고맙다고 생각하고 있습니다.
Welcome to the PUBG Players Tour. This year, we're introducing structured competitive...
3 games down, though, for day number 1 of the Super Cup, and it has been 3 interesting different changes up, though. Hive coming back with a big sting, though, in game number 3 here, Koa. That, again, is going to shake up that leaderboard.
Yeah, as we always get going, right? It's just we play so few games. Every game is going to matter a whole lot. Now, 20 points is a 4th place, which is impressive, considering they played 1 out of 3 games, right? So that's how big that game was, and that's how insane the amount of points they were able to gather is. 17 kill points, by the way, for 7G, 0 placements. They haven't been in the top 4 yet, and somehow they're still putting up enough kills to put themselves in 5th place.
They find themselves in that kind of like early game's good, mid game they're trying to hold the circle. I feel like they're playing the rotations really, really well, but they kind of hold on to that edge a little bit too long, hold on to a fight a little bit too long, and that really stops them. Teams filling in the middle of them. We saw Belief cause them some problems there in that last game. They did clear, but then it was go next Esports. So if it's not one, it's another. But good amount of kills. 17 kills is, with this format, with this point system, is good. 5th place is strong, and all they need to do is try and convert a win or 2 on top of those kills, and they'll be looking at a top spot eventually.
Yeah, love to see the tightness at the top of the scoreboard here. Nobody able to string together 3 amazing games just yet. I think SlamG basically skipping the first one. Skittles dropping out a bit in game 2 and 3. Go next, just chaining games together, but not really getting a ton going here in this last one. So they stay very close to each other. They keep it tight. And I think we're undoubtedly going into an exciting day tomorrow and then to finish it out on Sunday.
I think it screams out to this format, right? We play 1 map once per day, best of 4 each day. If you prefer a Miramar like a Skittles, you get some big points. If you prefer a Rondo like a Hive, you get some big points. Well, it's down to the old school. Erangel underway, as we will be flying from the south all the way up towards a north. Could be a north central. He was so good as well. 3 out of 4. But that flame path was too quick. Go Concord over the top, south, southeast, up towards a north, northeast. Does favour the east side of the map.
Yeah, as my granddad used to say, you cannot everything have. You can't just hit it all the time. You know, sometimes you swing and you miss. You miss all the shots you don't take. I respect it. I appreciate it. Eastern playing for us.
I love it.
Gonna provide some issues here. Yasnaya already looking a bit packed, and two teams heading for Stalber is a wild sight.
It is a wild. SlamG do go there, so maybe Conquest looking to go over the top, but the extension from the plane path, they're going to get caught. If SlamG can get some gear, especially on that east side, they can punish them if they're quick. Plane done and dusted. A few teams pretty close together. We'll have to wait and see. There goes that Yaz drop as well. And it is late as well, so we are going up towards that northeast corner. And Fairy Tail, who need a big game, 100 yard the same.
Should be very possible, though, for 100 AR to just run down the solo here. I didn't quite catch who of Fairy Tail was so split. I think it's any. You can honestly single out a 4v1 there. It's not like a pretty one, a free one. You gotta cross a wide open road, sure. But you take a 4v1 whenever you can get one, especially in this point format, right? Like, it's fine to sacrifice a whole lot of loot for a kill point. And honestly, the control of the edge of the city, maybe the best spot in the circle is East Yasnaya. I would love to see ADR grouping up and grouping up fast.
It's not even just a point format, right? We've got the recall system now. It's not always about winning the fights as a 4-up. One of the big things, especially watching with the PNC, it was just win the fight. So you're right. If you can isolate a solo, go for it. It looks like 100 are trying to do the same. Fairy Tail now collapsing, understanding their weakness in the chain of the armor. They work their way closer towards the individual as well. They have missed the cross, but now they stack up. It's a 3 versus 2 here. Actually, now the fourth one has arrived, so it's a 4 versus 2. Maybe Fairy Tail can now isolate, but that is a tough building to push.
Yeah, that's a rough one, but they've avoided the worst case scenario that would have been losing the player and losing the spot. They have now, I'd say, put themselves in the better position of the two. The question is, how much loot do they really have here? Brightside's walking around with an ump. I saw no backpack there. I saw players without vests. So, they paid a lot here, Fairy Tail, to salvage this one back up. But yeah, this is the position I was looking at. Conf, he's gonna just lurk around, hold the cross, and whenever anybody wants to get across that road, Conf should be able to pop up and immediately take him out.
I think he was trying to get there as well before the initial player crossed over, right? So, they get in the car. This might be more of a bait away. Try and draw players this way. Conf reposition again as well. 100 ADR unable to get eyes on that vehicle, so they're unsure if it's all 4 maybe left. So Conf could be a huge problem for those guys as they try to now loot up Yaz.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They won't know until it hits them. And unless some crazy turnaround happens, he could even get himself 2. Now with the rest of the team clearly signaling they are gone, they're pretty much just trying to play into him. They're just trying to give him a chance to get that freebie. That's why they're being so obvious, loud, maybe even obnoxious about it. You know, they're popping off their SCAR-L at long range just to make sure that ADR knows, okay, they're no longer there. We can move freely now, and that's the trap they want him to fall into.
It's a little bit sus though. They drive away and they drive back like Wild West. Surely 100 ADR might be looking at this. Akamari gets mad negative down, kill and confirm. Red zone. When it rains, it pours. Belief to take cover again. They do find a good position, especially if the zone shifts back their way. Esports taking advantage of the split of Belief. A couple of shots will come through, but no connection just yet.
Antipho's there for fine as well if he wants to. Again, dangerous. Dangerous solo here. Sunflowy left to his own devices, but if the zone's really good, you could easily see go next to rest that man.
Throws out. Now find themselves in a position. Beer fellas. They crash on his. Wes it goes down. Hasn't been confirmed just yet. Maybe now this is where Conf gets involved. 100 ADR starts activating. He causes some damage. Looking to try and get the flash. Flash goes out. Here's the steps coming in. And he steps right into the eyes of the barrel. You said they're limited on loot. 29 shots here. NEX trying to make it worth his while. Doesn't quite get the connection. He needs to go back looting.
Huge double though. Huge double. That's the loot injection that they need. April, he had 0 bullets left. He shot all of the bullets in his barrel, so he's lucky he got that confirmation. They can easily reset now, get some smokes out, get all the loot going. And not only collect the kills points, but also just fully salvage the situation.
Ready up and get the confirm on 7G as they go for that rotation. Slam G is waiting. Great initial spray though. Gets one though. Go for the second. He does do the damage as well. Boostic is just built differently. He gets to 7G down to the final player. It's grown now. He's going to try and pop out of smoke, but the claws of Slam G, they're looking to try and capture. They captivate one. The spray comes through. Doesn't quite get the connection either. But Grown's down to a one shot. It's for free. And 7G, they will fall. 16th place for them. The Slam G inject early game kills. They're now up on 4.
Huge. Huge stuff. Hive, meanwhile, making their way across. A very far away from the zone situation. Getting across the field here. Gotta be a little bit careful about Weewoo. Gotta be careful about the red zone that they're driving into. Representi's doing all of that, dodging all of these threats. And not only that, but he's telling his team what's coming. And I think Hive might be looking to see if they can set up a bit of a camp here.
Do they dare to run across the red zone? No. Schengen's out. Ace. My favourite guns at the moment. Looking over. I'm watching. But they do play a little bit more further towards that west. So we might have the sirens are blaring. But they get past. Hive might need to think about their entry point. They might go for a reposition. Coming in by maybe school flats. A lot more teams have donated up. Stauber, store that pinnacle point, store in the zone. You're on phase number 1. You have lost the team though, it's down to 56 players.
Not the day of win or die. Up to this point. Not the day of Levante here. Oh, swag on me hits the bolt. He does connect with the AR. Clean spray. To close out the knock and he's not far off here, Mark. Not far off with the bolt. He's hit another body shot with the 4x as well. Layer's got to be careful. There's not a whole lot of HP left on the whole win or die squad.
Needs to get their seat swap and get driving back the other way. They are coming into Weewoo. They've set up a bit of a camping scenario. Looks like about cruises really slowly. Does get a couple of shots in and connects to Laosh as well. He goes down and it hasn't been the day. Win or die. They are dying in numbers. Down to a solo player now. It's been painful to watch.
Dwindling. Falling apart. Not looking good at all at the moment. Gotta come back stronger tomorrow. They likely won't be able to do a whole lot in this game. Phase 2 is now about to pop. And I really like where Hive is at. If they dodge Hakamari here, they're cruising into zone with a whole lot of speed, very close together. If any zone comes anywhere close towards them, they can take prior spots. And if it doesn't, they should still be able to out-rotate a bunch of teams, like the Skills here, who just aren't moving yet.
This is what you were talking about earlier in the evening, is that actually taking the early rotation or driving around, if you time it right, you can get that sort of bounce on the zone as that zone hits and it shifts away. There's been no loss of momentum here for Hive, and arguably teams that have been in zone are still struggling to get into their cars and get going. Hive threading the needle and they're going for a full send.
I love it. Again, they are on a level macro-wise that not a lot of teams in this game are, and not a lot of teams in this lobby especially. As a weird ghost, you ask, comes rolling down from the top, they will get themselves the most central spot in the circle well, they weren't even in it when it popped, right? That's the power of the pre-drive. Sure, not a spot you would want to be playing in phase 1, so granted, no one else was trying to take it. Now they're looking good. If Rox makes it there, if they keep 1 or 2 cars up by putting them behind each other, they're looking fantastic for most of the end games here. Some really hard shifts would have to happen to push them out of zone.
How have they got away with this? It's mental. Absolutely mental. Should be able to get the res. He does find safety now in the numbers of the car. Does go down towards the smoke. Be difficult for anyone to kind of barrage util. Would have to use kind of a Panzer. We were taking the police helicopter above. And yeah, Hive back to a 4 strong. So careful, I suppose. Elements of their vest and helmets, they're going to get tanked a little bit here because with a bit of a quiet before the storm, teams can punish their position. But you're right, like, your arguments, they're going to get the zone at least once, maybe twice.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a world where they just get hard shifted in phase 3 and then they're not in it anymore. But if it's a hard shift west, then it will come back a little bit because of the water. And if it's a hard shift east, it should also come back a little bit because of the water. So many zones that do work out favorably for them. They're just playing the odds. They're not always going to play a good game here, but the odds are that they will. And that's essentially what PUBG is, right? You can't win every game. You can't get a 15 kill win every game. If you're playing the correct odds, maximize your points, maximize your chances, that's good enough.
May the odds ever be in your favour. The Co-O coach way. Wait for the zone shift to come in. 40 seconds remain before we see that phase number 3. It has to go heavy north for them not to be in really, but I still think there's too much water in. We had to take the E-rotate and the jump get a car, so all our store rotating. Big rotation for them as well. Remember, it came in on the west, avoiding kind of that Hive rotation. And I suppose if they took the Hive rotation, maybe they would be sitting in that compound. But for them, they're taken to the high ground of Stauber. A lot of teams have pushed down towards the south, so no one really contesting around here. They're going to have the ability to get some more loot, maybe restock any util that they couldn't quite find in the first drop. Here comes that zone shift away. It shifts towards the northeast. We still have water, though, in that northeast corner.
Tiny bit of water will push the zones on average a little back down to the southwest, but they don't have to shift southwest here. They can easily center up on Conquest, who are in the driver's seat now. They're spotting the circle, and this is kind of almost the worst case for Hive, I think. Even if the zone would have gone further north, they could play their southern edge up into Dope. You can still do that now, but they're going to get blasted from the compound of Sunflowery and the rest of Belief. So, worst case scenario for the team we just talked about, but plenty of good sends, plenty of good plays for teams that are wrapping around the east, and maybe a Fairy Tale that's cruising on in. They're going to get hurt last second, but could be enough for Cramsey to line them up, but he doesn't connect a single one, Mark.
I felt like he thought that his drive was going to pop out, and when Conf jumped out of that passenger seat, he just took his gun line off, and as a punishment for him. That's unfortunate, though. Brightside gets that confirmation. Skittles now rotate past, maybe taking this corner section. Don't forget, you got the trenches. Conquest really split here. Down to a 3. And the X is down. There's a postal nade that was to perfection. Brightside will now hold, but the third party from without Dope, that's not going to help him. Now, they're not going to know the damage, but they're potentially going to see him now moving in towards the shack. And there goes the nade. He did catch him, and Mounty mounts a perfect nade.
Good attempt. Good salvage. But there's still a Panzerfaust. And again, doesn't matter if you're behind the wall third personing. If the Panzerfaust knows you're coming, takes you out. Conf being an absolute nuisance here. Being an absolute issue for Conquest. Not only because he's making them pay for it, he is dead now, but because he allowed the time for Dope to come up and get interested now. They have a reasonable read on the kill feed. They might want to get involved in this.
Yeah, especially your last game of the day, right? You want to make it a bit more explosive, get some more points. We're gonna die. I want to play for them. Deadrocks, 9 first aids, 13 bandages. It's Got a bit of a rotation out. He's very much out. Shooting range way. Severny might be heading towards one of the recall centres or the recall posts. Lock, other side of things in the southeast corner, and they're still rotating round. Lots of action here as Go Next taking on Belief. Skittles also evolved in the compound a little bit further around the corner.
Looking at the map stream, Hive just picked up an EP, or pulled up an EP. So that was their secondary game plan, their plan B. And while they're waiting for the EP to come, they're just, getting some flushes across the field as well. Rox picks up a 3-point. Love to see it. We are going straight onto Conquest, who have just put the respawn chips in.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge. They've just got away with it as well. Phase number 4. They're going to be all right. Lock's still going down the bridge. The rotation on the east out. Past the water. Go Next got to thread the needle. Bad rotation going to be there as well. Hiru just comes into line of sight, but doesn't quite get the connection. He's now pulled up now, but bad rotation. We've got the numbers. They're collapsing too, looking for the angle. Needs to get some cover pretty quickly. As Lock, well, look at the drive forward out of this position.
Yeah, but this is so rough.
Oh,
Salik, he had the angle the whole time, but he's a little late to the party. He's a little late to save the day. Just a little too far. Help here out as much as he wants to. Might be going for the drive-by now, but he won't even make it there. His car blows up before he gets down the hill. Just like that, he's worse for wear. Hive EP onto the compound. EP into Weewoo. And they keep 4 up for now.
It's clean. We split again. A lot of teams are being punished in their splits, but some capitalizing. Hive, 2 kills. That secondary plan. E-rotate, well, that's worked out for them. Slam G looking to try and do the same. Boostic does get 1 quick kill confirmed as well. They drive on the outside edge. What team still needs to come in here? Inkoa. Believe still haven't made a move just yet. They're going to have to go quite aggressive. Lock, they get eliminated. Sadiq does get found. And without dope, also bleeding numbers.
Our team's bleeding numbers. As we see. Pull up from Skittles. Want to go next. They would love to converge here, but I think they can't just yet. Western side is ADR versus winner chicken dinner. With a win or die coming in super late from the edge. That's a rough drive-by. That's going to roll right on by. Lutic surely picks that one up. ADR is looking good for this.
Oh, looking good for it. Win or die. Also look good for the recall system. They might be coming in late. Jedrox, though, has the meds to try and survive out. Here comes the Molly of Doom, but he does catch it in the air. He'll be falling. Belief get involved. Jedrox just needs to stay alive a little bit longer. Actually, scrapped out the plane. The recall has come in. So he's going to be back up numbers. But where did they land? Where did they go? They've got to land on a box here if they want to stand any chance of getting some loot.
They'll fail more often than not, these incredibly late recalls. Hive, meanwhile,
punch him out.
Aren't doing a whole lot of failing. Rox is on 4 already. Picks up entire squad wipe for the team. Someone's pushing on in. And if you're watching the map stream right now, you see a ton of win or die parachutes cruising through the lobby. But the only win or die player who has a gun already, he's dead in the blue.
Yeah, they might just want to fly around. If Hive doesn't rotate once, they rotate twice. Then they're working their way back from that north section and emergency pick up here. They might clash heads with Leosh. Hopefully doesn't have his parachute caught up in the mix. But yeah, it survives. It works for win or die. But they've got to stay in the air now as the chaos unfolds. 8 teams now remain. Winner chicken dinner will fall. 100 ADR getting the much needed points that they need here for day number 1.
I'm not sure what to think of this.
What bit?
For win or die.
Okay, yeah. Okay, we're on the same page.
In this format, where kills are worth so much more than placements, sneaking yourself into a 4th place and then dying isn't even really worth it. And you're only very rarely you're going to get more. Levante, however, does have a chance to punch him out here. Does he live? Oh, I don't know if he does.
No!
Yeah.
That's so close. Oh, that is so close. That is unfortunate, but you're right. They're just giving more points away. This is where we see bigger point games. Prizes into this recall system, right? That's unfortunate. Now the others are getting caught out. Leosh gets deleted from the air. Levante will fall to the zone. And win or die. Well, they've got one on the ground. It's hell of my bad. He's in a trench. I don't think he's got much more else, though, to live for.
That's the thing, right? Like, he fed 2 kills here to 2 really potent teams. And is Halamybad gonna get a lot of value from it? Is he just sitting in the backseat of a car? Sure. But you need to get a whole lot of placement points for this to work, Mark.
And the drop is teasing. It's so close you could smell it. It's going to not be the case. He is going to have to sit in the car. Dante, though, gets boosted. Here comes the charge. Hive on 5 kills, though. Rox goes back to the vehicle. So he wants to try and keep ahead of the blue. It's phase number 5. It stings a little bit more. Deployable nade will go out. We'll get the connection.
No.
And it looks like dunk. I've arrived. Rox is here. Schengen's down.
Oh, that's disaster. Boostic falling on the other side for Exalt.
Oh.
Slam G.
Oh, if that was a C4 car, that could have been deadly.
Oh, ghost cars in this game. That's nice piece of cover, honestly, for anybody moving down the hillsides. But, man, Without Die had the move onto Conquest. They were ready to try and explode. Lurix got the opener. They were ready to make some moves here into the zone. But they've been slowed down entirely. Hello, my bad. He's alive. But not a single point just yet, Mark.
Okay, come on. Let's make a call now. I'm saying second. Where are you going? Hello, my bad.
I don't think so.
Worth it?
I don't think he gets second here. I think he gets cleared by whoever gets spatial in the north. Be that bad rotation, be that Hive. I think he gets spotted and cleared. Right now, it's the shots like that. It's looking like it won't be Hive.
Oh, have to wait and see. Kai's made a claim that bad rotation or Hive's going to pick him up. Schengen finds Max. And they're working out that they're fighting multiple teams here. Go next, keeping low. That helps out ahead of my bad. It'll be interesting to see if they do peek that window, if they get a glimmer, a shine from him. Belief, 6 kills. Good game from them so far. And ahead of my bad with the smoke looming. Oh, he gets caught. It was Hive. You got it right.
Yep.
He gets found out.
Love being right. Nothing in the world that I love more.
I wanted a run out in the blue zone, phase number 4, recall system, get you a second place. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen it.
It wouldn't be the first time, but new strats work better the first time, right? Crazy strats that nobody's ever seen before, they work better the first time. Hive's been known for it. Dante's done it at the last Masters. We've seen Gustav get away with it as well for phase. But the more teams are ready for it, the more they're looking up when that plane floats around. And you just don't get into spots as much as you would before anymore. If they had 2 to 3 different spots, right? If more of them made it down, it would have been a different story. But this way, I honestly think that recall was a mistake. If you have Gedrox in the circle, and you have a place to land on and get yourself looted and get yourself to become a factor again, sure. If you're just cannon fodder, I don't think the res is worth it.
What about cannon fodder? Schengen delivers a blow with the Orc, though. Spins round. This can make 3 to 4 nearly. He should do unless he gets stolen away. Definitely on fire here for getting before. I'm with you though. Recall works both ways. You might be able to get some bodies back. It doesn't mean you're going to get some points. It doesn't mean you're gifting points the other way. That's a good nade. The one gets caught slightly, so it does deflect a little bit away from Team Hive.
Almost perfect. Hive stays alive for another while. And the longer they stay alive for, the safer they become. But Phase 7 has other plans. Goes right to the south, right to Believe, centers up on the Wizard Tower. And Hive are scrambling. Bad rotation, they can play the bunker in front of them. Hive can play nothing here. They can pull up into Conquest. But 2 to 3 nades. they should get destroyed. And if bad rotation, you can see it, right? If they get to peek over there to the right, should also be just impossible for Hive.
I'm really intrigued as to why Jedrox didn't go to the recoil as close to the zone. Anyway, back to the action. Bad rotation. Trying to get the hold here, Belief. They go for the put up. There's the first knock, though. Nade really, really cooked, though. Goes to the other side, causes an explosive amount of damage. The Famis is down, though. But Mindset gets one, and there goes the nade. Frenchie able to clear it. The C4, that's going to be a little bit of a charge up, though. Frenchie has to charge on forward, though. Final player here for bad rotation. And Belief, well, they've got the numbers to try and stack up an exchange.
Not an easy push, though. I'm not sure why Belief went so hard on it either. Good nade over the top. That's big. Now he has the car coming. He knows he's the last player, but he goes for the flush instead, and it costs him.
Oh, he gets it.
Gets it with the fadeaway. Last bullet. Hip fire headshot. Mindset. Saved by the spray there. That could have been the game over. That could have been very dicey.
He did play a risky game. Schengen playing the risky game, now charging forward, though. High ground. We're on top 4, so we're on the placement now. Conquest don't have the numbers, but for how much longer when Schengen is breaching the compound? He jumps on over, bunny hopping himself. Hopefully another knock. He does get caught as he rotates back towards the tree. Hive, though, only with a duo, so be careful. They're trying to get the angles where they can. The smoke, well, it starts to clear. It's going to help Schengen. He has to try and go for a bunny hop, get the player. He does get the player, though. They get the numbers back in their favour. It's a 2 versus 2.
2 versus 2, and he's been getting a lot of help from across the road. He's been getting a lot of help from Go Next. Maybe even a little bit from bad rotation. Has kept Conquest in check. Fine picks that one up now. You can see there's a whole lot of bodies around to loot as well if he wants to. Most of them should already be picked clean, however. Mulcario is waiting for him in a shack with a DBS mark.
Why not? He's going to try and play out. The reinforcement's not there. He gives shots for one, though. Go for second. He has to get the walls to cover. He knows if he can get close, he's going to cause the damage. And that is why. DBS just packs a punch. Schengen had a very limited amount of time. But I like the bait. Conquest pushed 2 at the same time. That was trying to divide and conquer where Schengen can shoot. And Rock's now completely immobilized and without zone.
Yeah. They had a bit of a window. They had a bit of a chance.
Oh, no. Well, the way that's going.
Make it go in. This is going in the Wizard Tower, right? This is going straight for the Wizzy. Gotta be careful that he doesn't go too early here. Gotta try and delay a little bit. But I'm thinking he gets Panzerfaust here right away. The Panzerfaust misses, so the C4 lands. Lalok, where do you even go? Can you create the distance? No, you cannot. Just like that. The flush is there. Self-flush, but it's a knock onto Lalok, and he gets
He's taking a tumble.
He gets crushed by a car of some sort. Go next down to 1.
Love the tank traps of the Doritos. They helped there. I don't know if they were ready for the Panzer. Conquest trying to drive forward. But it does go to a 1v1v1 here. Finn, well, he's got the hard cover. It's very hard to take multiple fights when you're in the center, and especially when you can throw a molly and hit a door frame like that. That's a strat. Maybe it's a deny. Maybe there's some kind of force field at the door. The nade doesn't go through. The molly goes back the other way, but he does get the med off in time. He's able to move and dodge the explosive action. Keeps coming his way.
If this was Pixelic, he'd be vaulting on top of the Wizard Tower right now. Fine. Can't do that quite yet. It's a bit of an OG reference, don't mind me. Can't do that quite yet, but the game ends on him. It's really just Mulcario who has to cross the road, and nobody's watching for him, so you should be able to chill out at this drop for quite a while. And maybe even make the cross. But Mindset has now realized, okay, doesn't have to clear out the wizard just yet. Maybe get yourself a free kill on that crossing player instead.
Now he makes the run. Got the DBS, don't forget as well. Swapped it over. Mindset. Reposition. Try and get as close as he can towards the dot. Still 1 versus 1 versus 1. Game number 4. The final game here for our Super Cup day number 1. Again, any one of these teams to get the win will be good for them. Galaxy Sport arguably already up that leaderboard. So closing out day number 1 for them would be very successful. But I feel like this is the calm before the storm. Do we have everyone charge up? Do we find charge out? Or do we find ourselves with a 1 versus 1 med-off? We'll have to wait and see. We've only got 1 minute 28 left.
Gonna come down to position in the wizard as well. I think it's slightly outside. So I don't even think Fine is getting it. I don't think a med-off is even in question. The problem is Milcario. He's got to move. Nobody else does have to until very, very late in the game. And I don't see how he has a chance, but I guess he's gotten himself this far. Now has a good chance to work for second place. There was a nade down there in that room as well if he wants to grab it. Chuck it up in the main room at the right time. Make it much, much harder for Fine to move.
You know, he played that so well as well. He denied the angles. So, good play. One set.
Oh, I love the smoke.
Denying the defensive smoke. It's going to deny shots. Conquest chipping away. Waiting now for the jump out here. Look back towards that window. Mindset now in the prime position. Moved up closer. There goes the flash. He's the player dancing around the edge, but doesn't know he's dancing with a DPS. Though he does now. There goes the 1. Now he charges right underneath. He has only got 1 HP. Fine taking the damage though. He needs to be cautious. He's trying to edge himself ever closer and closer towards it. But he's taking the damage in the blue, and he gets it. He gets the med off, the DBS in hand, and it is going to Conquest. It's a 7-kill game. Why did he not just jump off and take the action? He didn't want the smoke. There was too much fire in the final circle.
What was that? Why?
That was something.
Why? I don't know if he got stuck or if what he was waiting for, what he was hoping for. He just stood there and tanked it for literally until the very bitter end. I don't think he took a single point of damage from his opponent there. I don't know what he was cooking. I don't know what the play was. I would love to know because I'm sure he had some intentions behind it. That was weird to watch.
DBS mind games, mate. DBS mind games. He heard it. He was like, oof.
Ooh,
not going down there.
Down.
Yeah. That's the no-go zone now. The blue nearly close. Yeah, 100%. Anyway, let's look back at things though. It is day number 1, done and dusted. 4 games all complete though. We do have another 4 games tomorrow and Sunday, so still 8 games left before we get to crown ourselves a champion. But it felt like every game one team was there to shine. There wasn't a complete runaway though for day number 1.
No, absolutely not. I think Go Next, super consistent, right? Consistently decent in the first game, and then, I mean, just closing it out in fashion. Skittles popping off. I think just once, honestly. I think the big pop-off was once, and then they slowed down quite a bit. You have a big pop-off for Hive. So, just different winners, different games, all having their chance to shine. And I think keeping the scoreboard super interesting that way.
Yeah. Definitely felt like a day of explosions, though. If it wasn't the nades, it was the Panzers. We saw some outstanding nades. A lot more people getting used to using util in a TPP format. A lot of people think I'm mad, but it is very different. We saw in the last game getting caught in the door frames, window ledges, etc. Window frames. So I feel like this Super Cup, a lot more people more comfortable, and I think that's why we're seeing a bit more of an explosive action.
Yeah, and we still see people getting a grip on things. I think we saw a lot of fantastic mollies today. That was one of them, but we saw a lot of fantastic mollies today. But we're seeing things that aren't quite worked out just yet. Conf, a tricky one this game. A bit of an interesting one for him. But the res from Winner Die comes to mind. Where, yes, it's a new mechanic. Yes, it's good. It's strong. But just because you can doesn't mean you should. And some of these late reses, I think players are going to start figuring out, okay, we can't really rely on scooting into a 30-second place here. We have nothing in the zone. Maybe having naked players fly into that zone is just feeding points.
It's not my conscience when I want to go out. It doesn't mean you can, it doesn't mean you should. But you're right. Like, and again, just to add to that, right? Jedrox obviously went down in the blue. But what baffles me is there was where he was situated at the time, he opted to go back towards Severny to get that recall at the T-junction. Yeah. When actually there was the one in that north compound by the lake. I don't understand why he didn't play towards the zone, get the recall. Maybe he had to go back and get some recall chips. I don't know. But baffled me that he went out to come back. DBS, though, had a massive impact, though, in this late game. Or as there was one. C4 usage doesn't quite get away. Does really indicate the distance that you need to put. And there's a DBS again. And yeah, this...
Is he stuck? Wait,
no, he's moving. Not. No, it's the DBS. It's mind games. He's like, I do not want to push that. He's going to die before I do. He's got a DBS. But nope. Nobody cares. He even gets the med off there, Koa, before having to jump off. That is insane.
That was a weird late game. There was a lot of question marks there. I'm not sure what the thought process was again, but let's stop talking about it. It's not like we'd be doing better. You know, we're just sitting in our caster chairs here having a good time. SlamG's having a good time at the top of the scoreboard, and then we are tied for second place, Mark.
Yeah, Go Next obviously in Hive latecomers towards it. Go Next have had arguably a good couple of games as well. So good to see. Some gaming, they do drop to the other side, those 17 points, but it is interesting for me. Like from 6th down to 9th there in 17, maybe 100 ADR in there with 1 point split as well. So there's a massive middle pack there. One good game will put them in towards the top pack, and then at the moment we have a SlamG, Go Next, and Hive storming ahead. But really storming ahead really with one. Maybe Go Next with 2 games, give or take.
Yeah, they're going to be fighting for that top 5. They're going to be fighting for the prize money tomorrow and on Sunday. The big surprise for me is Fairy Tail in 15th here, Mark. That's crazy, no?
100%, especially when we start on Miramar. You normally see a start on Miramar with Fairy Tail being really strong, but only 7 kills over 4 games. Doesn't feel like the synergy is there at the moment, and it is a team which has worked their way up, Koa, event after event to find themselves normally at the top spot. It's not working out for them, but they still have 8 games left that they could maybe go out and prove something.
Everything is still up for grabs. Everything is still possible. 8 games done, or 8 games left, 4 games done. We're only a third way into the tournament. You could be last place and still win it at this point. So everything is up for grabs. Come tomorrow and come Sunday. So you guys, you want to see how this closes out, you better show up tomorrow, same time, same place. And yeah, we're going to be excited to bring you some more PUBG on Saturday and Sunday.